All right, Travis, I'm going to start the show, but then you're going to introduce me. And by that, I mean this is how we're starting the show. My name is Tom.
Wait,
You did it. No, I didn't. That's not how we're doing the show.
Wait, I had to intro it?
Yeah, intro the fucking show, man.
Hey, welcome to Roast Mortem Cast, a show that Travis intros occasionally, maybe. I don't know. I'm Travis.
I'm your Cody for this evening.
I'm Tom.
I'm Mike.
And I'm Avery Lentz.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, buddy.
Yay!
We've got Avery from Battles and Banter. Great show. Avery, tell us a little bit about your show before we
Absolutely. Well, for you ladies and gentlemen out there who have not had the privilege of dabbing into Battles and Banter yet, we are a chill military history podcast that tries to take a more laid-back approach. If you've ever watched the show Junk History, that's kind of in the vein of what we try to do. We try to make it approachable for historians and non-historians, mostly non-historians alike. And we don't just do military history, we'll do fictional battles as well. So if you like Star Wars, you like Lord of the Rings, you like Game of Thrones, whatever, we'll cover those battles too. And we just released our 69th episode.
Oh, good number.
So, yeah, ayo. And we actually will be doing our first live stream tomorrow. We'll be doing first Bull Run or first Manassas, depending on where you're from, north or south, from the American Civil War. So, yeah, we got some cool stuff coming up. You can find us on iTunes, Spotify, all the major listening platforms, and give us a follow on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
That's how you do it, guys. I'm always
He's so much better than us.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
I got to ask, you do this battle-based podcast, very historically accurate. What brings you to an alt-right podcast like us?
Yeah. What's going on?
Well, I'm just a big fan of you guys. When we started out in the game, you guys were some of our first followers on Instagram, I think. And then from there, it spawned. So, I've always wanted to be collaborating with all of the OGs, if you will. And
I think one of the things I saw right off the bat on your channel that I got to tell you, I am not so familiar with the Civil War, but you guys know your shit about that. Like,
I almost know too much.
Right, which one?
But I appreciate it. Yeah, we try to hit as many different topics as possible, and we'll jump from Civil War to World War II.
Yeah.
My grandfather was in Korea, so I've been on a big Korean War kick the last 2 years now, or last year and a half, because it's currently in its 70th anniversary. So yeah, we try to do as much as possible, and the Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, even some Marvel stuff. We try to lighten the mood and share the load and do all that stuff to try to keep our listeners less bogged down with all the minutia that we talk about in terms of nonfiction.
Of course.
The guy just said minutia on our podcast.
Minutia.
Yeah,
word.
Yes.
That's a Cody
one of my
word.
favorite.
A lot of fun. Look, historically speaking, when it comes to our show, the most important thing to me, not so much Travis, he's not into it, is how was your week? So Avery, how was your week? Could you tell us on the show?
Well, my week. Well, let's see here. So it was a very long week of work, and I can't tell you too much about it because apparently I'm on a contract that I'm not supposed to divulge information. I know, super fancy. It's really not. It's a lot of stupid shit. But the point is it's been a long couple of weeks, and so I am actually on the weekend before my PTO. I'm taking a week off of work, and I thought I'd kick it off with, a little guest appearance on Roast Mortem Podcast. And,
Love you, baby.
And if I'm going to plug myself, tomorrow is my 29th birthday. So,
Happy
birthday.
Yeah.
Thank you, gentlemen.
One more year left.
Yeah, I'm about ready to get done with these damn 20s. I'm so ready for my 30s. I cannot tell you. I am.
Look at these guys.
The 20s were a hit. It was like a 50-50 hit or miss kind of decade for me. So
you have the 80s and then you have the 90s.
Next
decade is always better until you're dead.
There's an understanding you have to know about being 30. Get a lawyer. Just have a lawyer.
Lawyer?
Get a lawyer and a dash cam.
Accountant.
Get an accountant.
Lawyer, or should I get a lawyer or a lawyer?
You're gonna get a lawyer. All right,
lawyer. A lawyer. Got
you got to
it.
dial 8. I think Salino is still in business.
Yeah.
One of them died. No, Barnes' brother is at it. Okay, Avery, thank you for your week. Mike, let's go to you. How was your week, Mike?
I went on a date on Wednesday. That was the highlight of my week, probably.
How'd it go?
Yeah?
I think it went well until I told her I thought I had bed bugs. I think that's where she stopped answering me. She stopped talking to me soon after.
No joke. Deadass Mike was trying to give me romance advice before we hit roll on this.
No, I mean I was just I was making conversations I thought I had bed bugs. I had these bites.
That's not
convo. But yeah, it was probably too soon to tell someone that.
You think?
Before
she'll come around.
And then we had this awkward ending where she was going home and I was gonna give her a hug and she went for a kiss and I went for the kiss and it was this awkward.
She was probably trying to kiss you to.
It was a straight up collision. That was a mid-air collision, Mike.
I've been suffering on the inside for the past couple days.
Mike.
Who wants to go next?
No, bed bugs add character, dude. That adds so much.
I didn't have
character.
bed bugs. I didn't even have them. So I don't know why she doesn't love me.
All right. Well, this is fine. These things
I'm
happen.
sorry.
Cody,
so off topic.
Cody, get us out of this life. Share us with.
Oh,
your
you want
life.
me to go now?
Yeah. You said something about your handle before.
Yeah, I literally 20 minutes before the podcast, I fixed a door handle that involved fucking shear screws, and I felt like a big old man. But my mom's in town and visiting me, so I was hanging out with her this morning, doing fucking errands with her and shit. One of the errands took us to fucking Costco. It's a big old wholesale thing.
I was there too.
Yeah, I didn't see you there, buddy. I didn't see you there. But I was in Costco, and I because I don't know why they just have the aged cheese right next to the cargo shorts in the center of the store.
Yeah,
so I gravitate there naturally because it's just it's what I need. But in the middle of God's creation, aka the Costco, there was some local dude that was just dead ass taking his pants off and trying on shorts for everyone to see. He threw his shoes and shorts on the floor and just started trying on
respect
the fucking apparel without any dressing. There's no dressing rooms in Costco.
Yeah, but that's what they get. They don't have a dressing room.
It's called not giving a fuck.
They're not going to get a dressing room. That precious space could be used for 700 pallets of toothpaste. They're not going to get a dressing room. And you're buying the shorts for nothing.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, if I was running this business, I would have the dressing room and a personal person in there giving you free samples while you get naked.
All right. Why are you getting naked? What are you trying on?
Cody, let me ask you something. I'm going to ask you something.
Yeah.
Did you whistle at him? Because that would have got him
to
start thinking with the shame.
He was with his son, though. He was he had his kid with him, and it was just oh, man. Yeah! He's going to have a fucking complex.
Come on.
This is my dad. Yeah.
Your father's a jerk.
That was me this week, so fuck it.
All right, well, that's fun. Travis, come on.
I also went to Costco.
Tell me about it.
How the pizza there? The pizza's so good there.
Yeah, dude.
So I was on the Rich
Costco
Dickman show.
Good show.
On Thursday. That was a lot of fun. Me and Randy are doing a Biggest Loser competition. And Adam from Houston. From
Biggest Loser.
Shit.
What nice guys.
Well, a weight loss competition you guys are doing?
Yeah, Randy needs to get married in Colorado.
Needs to?
Yeah, he needs to get married and he needs to lose weight. And so we're going to go in head to head.
I don't know. I mean, it's my goal to look like Jabba the Hutt if I ever get married. Just sit there at the front of the altar instead of standing there. I'm just kind of splayed out.
Yeah. And while you're in that state, just start trying on cargo shorts.
Well, that's the actual marriage process. Is you have to chain your wife like your Jabba the Hutt, and
don't forget the little parrot thing that just is gonna squawk at people the whole time.
You have to eat an entire frog before you say I do.
Look how holy this union is. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Tom,
yeah.
How's your week?
My week is good. I gotta say, I signed up for a gym.
Oh,
yeah, and nice. I'm going to Planet Fitness. Now, I've been to other gyms. Planet Fitness is really a $10 gym.
Make sure you wipe everything down.
Explain.
Yeah.
A ringworm, they call it.
Yeah. Dude, well, sometimes the ringworms are working out themselves. They're not just...
Yeah.
They're present.
They're more jacked than I am.
There's something at the space. It's like Costco, but for people who are pretending to work out. Yeah. Nobody there seems to be interested in actually doing I would not I would not want to talk to any of these people, let alone hire them. I can't believe they're employable. Where are they coming with this $10 a month? It's like a gym filled with homeless people. And then like one shredded grandma.
Shredded. That grandma's seen action.
It's like there's not enough mirrors, so when you're hanging out with all like the beach bros and stuff, you have to like kind of shoulder in and do your little workouts. Like there's very little for extensions. You know, you got to hit the machine.
Can I ask you, if you started working out, are you the type of guy that like will like bellow as they're lifting weights and just like scream guttural?
Yeah, so I will do that.
Yeah. Give us an example. Like, how do you breathe?
Well, how do I breathe? I breathe on mic all the time. You're listening to me breathe. But when I go like sometimes to make space for yourself, you will like you'll play with your bottom lip.
Yeah, I hoot like a barn owl.
Yeah, and then you let it. And they have this thing at Planet Fitnesses where it's like there's no lunks allowed. And the lunk alarm.
The hell's a
lunk? The lunk alarm, right? So if you're a lunk, if you're a mouth breathing retard who's throwing weights down, throwing them down nonstop, they will ring an alarm as if the Taliban is coming, and they will say, "Stop it! Stop being shredded!" And then kick you out.
I'm just imagining the lunk police. Yeah. Sir, we're the
those same people go to the Carvel next door with their creatine powder, and they go, "Oh, I can't just eat a sandwich. I have to eat creatine powder with an ice cream because cow milk." Listen, I'm just experiencing something new. I'll report back in. But yeah, going to the gym.
I like this.
Yeah. You know what? You got to go every day. And you don't have to go crazy every day. But as soon as you don't go, you're not going anymore.
You gain the weight.
You're just not going anymore. So you got to go every day.
You should take steroids instead. You know,
I like that mentality.
I'm going to start doing steroids
if we could
and
lose weight.
There you go.
Imagine if we could lose weight as easy as we gain it.
That's true.
My God.
Yeah, it's methamphetamine.
Someone would invent that.
But thank you.
Drugs.
Thank you, Kyle.
Yeah, so get your meth on. Join Planet Fitness. I didn't even, if you notice, I didn't say don't. Try it out.
Yeah.
Maybe you're one of these people.
Yeah.
But I go to any Planet Fitness and
try it out.
I have met more people in my life that would work well in a Planet Fitness than not so. Guys, we have a show to do.
Oh my God. It's special though.
So, yes, we are doing another one of our Master Series. Not Master Class. That's a trademark.
Is it?
Oh.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, fuck us.
Is it golf people?
What?
Is it golf people who have trademarked that?
Oh, yes. It's probably Tiger Woods or
Bill
Daly.
That's the only other golfer I know.
Arnold
This guy named
Palmer.
Bubba.
Sean Daly or his name?
Arnie. I like Arnie.
Yeah. No, but we're
Delicious
doing
drink.
a Master Series. We are doing Confederate D-bags from the Civil War. So that was, as I mentioned, Avery, you are a kind of a battlefield specialist.
Oh, you planned this.
Yeah, and I was like, hey, what better person to have on to like correct us when we're fucking up all the names and places and battles than Avery.
Yeah, I'll do what I can. To make sure we don't blur any lines here.
Keep us on the tracks. Okay?
Yes.
Yeah, so without further ado, Cody, you're going to have the first Confederate
saying it
rebel
weird?
scum.
I got you. I got this. We're doing this. Welcome. I will be the first up tonight. I am doing the one, the only Nathan Bedford Forrest.
Oh, good start.
Great start. A little bit heavy, but like strap in because I'm taking you there.
Yeah.
His nickname is the Damned Butcher of Fort Pillow. Also acceptable is the Wizard of the Saddle and Old Ben are his aliases.
So, the Butcher of Fort Pillow, is that the My Pillow guy?
It sounds so comfortable, doesn't it? I would love to go to Fort Pillow and just frolic with that Jesus freak forever, but
I mean,
it's a little bit darker than all that.
When you're a child, you make pillow forts.
Yeah.
So
right?
what?
Yeah.
What could go wrong?
Yeah, this is going to be great.
What massacre? Nathan Bedford Forrest, born July 13th, 1821, in what was then called Chapel Hill, Tennessee. His daddy dearest was a English blacksmith, or excuse me, he was an American, but of English roots, as
we're all British at our core, so it's fine.
And Mummy dearest was a Scotch-Irish lass.
Disgusting.
Our boy, I'm going to call him Forrest for the rest of this segment. Forrest was the oldest of 12 siblings. So, that good old day where, like, you just
didn't pull out.
Make a dozen and see what sticks.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it's really like a baby farm back then, dude.
It's like a baby farm and a baby roulette. Because, you know what I mean? It's just like, oh, SIDS is a thing. Oh, yellow fever's a thing. Oh, cholera isn't figured out yet. So it's just like you cross your fingers and have a dozen. So although he was not formally educated, Forrest was able to read and write in clear grammatical English from a young age. That's true. Sometimes the twang comes in and I can't hear it. I've lost myself in Southern accents before. Like what?
Cody actually has a Mesopotamian accent, and he tries to cover it up.
Chicago, thank you very much.
Yeah, Chicago's like the new Mesopotamia, right? Tower of Babel.
That was just the greatest
the
connection.
Cradle
ever.
of fucking life, right there in fucking Chicago.
The cradle of pizza. Don't talk shit.
It is
Continue.
good pizza, but whatever. Although, at an early age, he was skilled on horseback, which is why later in life he gets the hilarious nickname Wizard of the Saddle. Forrest was notably mild-mannered, except when he wasn't. When, you pushed him too far, he would get enraged and do violent shit like, I don't know, stab or shoot you.
Oh.
As that's exactly what he did when his business partner / uncle was killed by the Matlock family. He killed 2 of those guys and stabbed a bunch of others.
Ow.
Just went on a good old, murder spree and, for revenge.
This Forrest fella would have a fantastic TikTok. Imagine him talking shit in the bathroom, flickering the lights, putting on shitty contacts he got on eBay, getting infections, just being like, you talk
perforating
shit,
drywall.
Boy, gets crazy, man.
At a tender age of 16, he became the patriarch of the household after his father died. And in 1841, he gets into the business of, surprise, surprise, plantations and slaveholding. So they call it like a planter slaveholder type combo. And this is a lot, not a surprise, but everyone who's someone is doing that, south of the Mason-Dixon.
Well,
it's very profitable.
We laid it up. We're talking about the Confederacy here. Avery, but before we go further, would you like to just I feel like you have a better I've dove into this craziness before. Have you heard of the Lost Cause and that whole
That's mind-blowing to me.
Oh, gentlemen. I have been into the whole nightmare that is the Lost Cause since 2012. So I was in college when I first heard that term. And what that refers to is this ideology that the South, the Confederate States of America, seceded from the Union, not because they wanted to keep their enslaved individuals, but because of states' rights, their rights to do whatever they wanted with their quote-unquote property being fucking people. The point is that they had this narrative really nailed in at the turn of the 20th century. So as we were coming into the 1900s, pressing into World War I, eventually World War II, all the way up to the 60s, the narrative was North and South went to war. It was super tragic. And, it was just so sad for both sides, especially the Southerners, because they were just fighting for the same ideals that their forefathers in the Revolution had done. It had nothing to do with the peculiar institution of American slavery.
Yeah.
That was not the cause of the war. That is straight up the biggest line of bullshit that American history has
actually
ever.
I was convinced for a second.
That's the biggest line of bullshit that
it.
American history has ever had. So, make no mistake, folks. The American Civil War starts because of the big old slavery. 4 million enslaved African Americans in the South before the Civil War. They make up almost half of the population. There's only about 9 million people in the American South before the Civil War. And 4 million of them are enslaved blacks.
Wow.
And so Yeah, that is a very interesting concept and how they were telling the story for years and years and years. But another interesting correlation with the Lost Cause is that when it started, we also were seeing a rise of something else you gentlemen may have been familiar with, and it's called Jim Crow. The big segregation laws that didn't just rocket through the South. It was across the country. You know, at the turn of the 20th century, going into the 1900s, all these new laws that were segregating public places, white from black. This was, at the time, a huge agenda to not only promote segregation, but to promote white supremacy through the new narrative of the American Civil War, through that Lost Cause, and also through the formation of all these different monuments, which you may have now seen are getting taken down. So,
that's
everything comes
about.
Full circle.
Yeah.
That's what that's about.
Pull them bitches down. I think anyone that talks about lost causes, all you have to do is direct them to the Declaration of Independence of the Confederacy. And I mentioned slavery like 14 times. And like
every single article of secession from the southern states at least once mentions like, we're doing this because of slavery.
Yeah.
And it's pretty cut and dry. In fact, the cornerstone speech from the vice president of the Confederacy, Alexander Stephens, he straight up is like, we're founded on the principle that the black man is in fact inferior to the white man, and we are out here to keep that in place. And that's an ad-lib of that. But that's basically...
Yeah. It's a good southern accent. I was there in my mind.
I do declare.
I like to imagine just like
and a mint julep.
I like to imagine like it was like, well, on a scale of 5 stars, how inferior do you think black people are? And he was like,
and he's
3.
like, at least 3. I'm not going to give it 5, even though I've held up 5 fingers.
No, dude, you know they didn't do a star thing. They went the whole fucking Netflix thumbs up, thumbs down.
They have to make it simple.
I was making a 3/5 compromise joke.
Are you guys still watching? You still watching?
No one listens to this show unless they're sick.
So
a lot of people
that's true. Yeah.
By the time the American Civil War tees off in 1861, our boy Forrest is one of the richest men of the South because of the whole planting slaveholder thing. He touted a $1.5 million fortune, which is super hefty back then.
It's a lot back
then. Money.
Yeah. So I guess you could feasibly say Forrest may have had perhaps some possible stakes in the Confederacy winning. Maybe. Perhaps.
Yeah. If I'm a fishmonger, I'm not going to go into the ocean and start dropping grenades and not collecting the fish. Because is that a good comparison?
The joke's on you because all fish are
I went with you on that
grenades.
journey. That was fun.
That spoke to me, Travis.
Yeah, right. I'm connecting with the youth.
And the fish.
That's how Asterios' grandpa died.
Grenades in the ocean?
Yeah, he was trying to throw a grenade at a fish, and he let go too late.
Really?
Yeah, he told me. He said it on the show. This is not like public knowledge.
Shit.
He's Greek. You have to have fun.
You know, Greek grenades can't be the best.
Afghani Stowe and all that. You know, come on, fish time. Continue.
Tzatziki sauce, good shit.
Your boy Forrest enlisted in the Confederate Army's cavalry on June 14th, 1861. His impressive riding prowess eventually earned him the nom de guerre, the Wizard of the Saddle, as previously mentioned. He was disappointed with the resources available to the Confederate Army and opened his own purse to pay for horses and various supplies himself. So he's behind it. He's not only like, I'll fight for you, I'll bankroll you too. Yeah.
Yeah. It's fucking business, man.
And also,
that's
keep
what
in mind,
it was to these people.
Right.
They're gonna bankroll.
And he can read too. It's crazy.
Does reading impress you, Mike?
Back then, like back in the South, I feel like no one read.
But what about in 2021? Does that impress you, reading?
Some people can't read for shit.
Remember the juicer? I told you about.
What is the juicer?
Oh, I forgot to tell you about the juicer.
No, never told me about the juicer.
Continue. It's too long of a story.
Juicer can't read. There you go.
Yeah. He's like a 40-year-old man that can't read.
Anyway. 45.
I can read backwards.
Wow. Good. So he's bankrolling this, but keep in mind, the wealthier planters of the South were exempt from enlisting. They didn't have to because they were the things to be protected. They were what the war was being fought over. So our boy Forrest absolutely did not have to enlist. He did anyway, and he went for the Confederacy above and beyond while he bankrolled equipment and horses. Off the bat, he's operating as a lieutenant colonel with clearance to autonomously recruit and train soldiers. He sprung for his own propaganda. He did up posters, and his go-to slogan was, "Let's have some fun and kill some Yankees!"
He's trying too hard. Jesus, this guy's going over the top.
Sounds like a Red Sox fan. Am I right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh,
sports show.
Chicago.
I love hockey, dude.
That's to keep you from falling asleep at the wheel here.
Dunkin' Donuts.
Forrest assembled a personal security detail of 90 hand-picked soldiers. So the Wizard of the Saddle amasses this huge escort company of rugged men willing to ride and put their bodies on the line for Forrest.
Yeah,
Again, rugged men
friends.
willing to ride hard. Forrest gets some early recognition at the Battle of Sacramento, Kentucky, by leading an impressive cavalry charge that ultimately wins the battle for the Confederacy. And soon after that, he enjoyed an early success at Battle of Fort Donelson in 1862, when his cavalry again came in clutch and earned the Confederacy a win.
Hey,
wait, hold on. I gotta interrupt you.
Yeah,
Sorry.
he's doing it.
Fort
He's doing
Donelson. I'm sorry, Cody, but Fort Donelson is a major Union victory. It is one of Ulysses S. Grant's first big wins. Now, I will say this, though. Forrest is going to earn recognition there, not for winning, but for skedaddling the fuck out of there, because he just refuses to surrender with the other 12,000 Confederates in that fort. So that is kind of the beginning of him being like a poor fucking loser, where he's just like, I'll never surrender. And he basically is going to continue to fucking survive the fucking war.
He is a steadfast motherfucker that does
He's a
not
weasel.
give up.
Yeah.
Given.
Yeah, he's a little
Spoilers.
bastard.
Cody, were you
He's
reading
he's totally cheating. Like, he's got multiple plates, all that kind of like combo pack that you would buy in the bundles.
Cody,
he's a DLC content.
Absolutely.
Bullshit.
Pay to win.
Cody, can we
EA
check
bullshit.
your source? Were you reading anything from sources that were like Lost Cause, Brothers of the Confederacy? Where'd you get your
Perhaps out of a CD booklet by the band Pantera. Who knows?
July 21st, 1862, Forrest was promoted to Brigadier General.
Oh, that's level 45.
In Call of Duty, yes, Mike, that's exactly what that is.
I'm sorry. In Halo, it's 45. Highest skill
Halo.
level, 45.
Wait,
Extra sick.
hold on. Just so Mike knows. Mike, the cavalry are the guys that ride on the horse.
Yeah, the horses, yeah.
Yeah, they're little horse boys.
I've seen that movie.
Dragoons.
The horse.
They have pom-poms.
Yeah, they had that.
cheerleaders.
Oh, yeah, that's the. I'm thinking of a different war.
Yeah.
Mike, are you thinking about the
Revolutionary
movie Seabiscuit?
I'm thinking of the Patriot when Mel Gibson's like, the
The Patriot.
American flag.
Me son, isn't it?
Melly Gibbs.
Yeah.
Melly
Shit.
Schmelly
With
Gibbs.
the American flag with the blue face paint, right, Mike?
Yeah, being all like savage and shit.
And the Joker's his son.
Yeah, right. It's crazy.
1864, Forrest leads raids on Union forces sighted in Tennessee. During these raids, Forrest's company experienced "quote-unquote" negative casualties. He came back with more men than he went out with because he multitasked the recruiting while he was, out, on duty, raiding against the Union. Yes.
Let's say this is entirely accurate. Imagine a group of young, impressionable boys who are just approaching the age to be recruited, 17 and a half. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
But just
Go younger.
walking
They're recruiting
on the
younger.
side of the battle. Let's go to 15. They're coming behind
Younger.
these men, and there's Forrest, and he's just like, "Hello, boys. What are you doing?" And they're like, "Just walking."
Gee,
What
mister.
are you doing, sir?
Golly
Just
gee.
winning. We're winning over here. Why don't you step on in? I'll buy you a horse. I'll buy you 2 boots. Something your parents definitely wouldn't do.
Well,
There you
they were
go.
handing off. They were killing the Unions and then handing, these recruits the freshly killed Union soldiers.
Which
weaponry.
unions? The police unions, the coal mining unions. Which
MTA.
unions?
All of these dudes would definitely have that.
Department of Transportation Union.
They would all have that salacious flag, the black and white flag with the blue line. That's I just keep seeing it more and more.
I like the Punisher version of it.
No, it's just I don't know if you should be allowed to vote if you have that or a coexist on your car. Like nothing too heavy-handed.
I
people.
like coexist when it's tongue-in-cheek.
Coexist has never been tongue-in-cheek, okay? It's a
enough.
corporation that's designed to demean people.
Silent.
Coexist my ass. That's like putting Lance Armstrong back on the bike. He did all right. He did it good.
I'm just trying to exist.
He thought outside of the
just
box.
like without the code.
He's cheating.
You know?
He's only got one testicle.
Give the guy a break.
Yeah, but he's also like, who cares? Is what I'm saying.
I bought that fucking wristband. I fucking bought it.
Yeah, and do you feel like a chump?
I do.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
You don't wear it anymore, do you?
There was wristbands for everything. Let's just say that
Yeah,
we're
that's
all
true.
victims of that.
We need
Live
a
strong.
Cody,
All right.
so we got this guy scooping up boys.
Yes, sir.
He's scooping up little boys.
Come here,
What's
boy.
going on? Here?
Yeah, he's scooping up little boys and arming them. He's like, "Hey, come fight with me."
I'm a new daddy.
And some of them definitely said yes and joined him, and he would come back with more men than he set out with. So it's just like, wow, okay. Of May 1862, in one stunning display of deception, Forrest ordered his men to march down a hill in full view of Union command. Once at the foot of the hill, Forrest ordered his troops that were now obscured by the terrain to circle back around the hill and come back down the hill, giving the illusion that the troops were many, many, many times their actual numbers. The Union boys saw this, shit their pants, and surrendered to a Confederate force that was markedly smaller than theirs.
Happens many times on both sides. I should add. It's amazing how much like deception comes into play during the Civil War.
It blows my mind because, like, you think like espionage, deception, like the surreptitious checkmate is something that is formulated during like at least the Cold War. But no, we have here in the American Civil War people.
It's
like
a fucking card game, dude.
pulling
It's like
fuckery.
everyone's bluffing, and it's like,
I have 4 aces.
Yeah, flush.
Like,
I mean, I feel like that's most of the American Civil War. Like, yeah, we got cannons. Hold on a minute. We got to go up to Canada to get them.
Yeah. You would think this war would be slightly less bloody with all this trickery going on. But it's plenty bloody.
That is for
plenty
sure.
of pulp. Extra pulp
Plenty
bloody.
of pulp. Yeah, in your orange juice every morning.
Vitamin D. So he becomes this living legend of the battlefield. Everyone's calling him like, "Oh, you're the Wizard of the Saddle." He's getting his recognition. He's getting his chops. Let's now, unless our expert historian here, Avery, objects, talk about Fort Pillow.
Why would I object?
I don't know.
It.
You already
In fact,
did it, bastard.
Here's the thing.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, I love you. No, it's the
Likewise,
first thing.
feeling
Second
mutual.
thing. But like, no, like a lot of Southern history books, strangely,
They're wrong.
not strangely at all.
Yeah.
They just don't talk about Fort Pillow. They don't talk about it.
Knowing what I know, oh, really? You said,
Yeah.
really?
So there's not a lot of pillow talk in class. That's
No.
No. And
That
why don't you
drives
tell
women
us,
up.
Cody, why would the South maybe be a little, I don't know,
So-
let's say the words ashamed of talking about Fort Pillow?
Maybe we'll get into it. All right, let's go, boys. Despite its comforting name, Fort Pillow was actually a Union-held stronghold 40 miles upriver of Memphis. On April 12, 1864, Forrest's men stormed the fort. Forrest himself joins the party just a wee bit late as he's experiencing this, let's call it a comedic tragedy, where his horse keeps getting shot. So, like, he goes through 3 horses riding to the battle, and he's just like, "Ah." And, AAA doesn't exist back then.
No.
So he can't, like, hit his horse with jumper cables and keep
Yeah.
going.
Can't
So he
revive
needs
that
to
horse.
find, like, 2 or 3 extra horses because horses aren't bulletproof.
Yeah, but that guy had a horse boy. It was probably just some boy that had like a whole bunch of horses.
I like to imagine
Like,
it was a
horse
vending
boy.
machine of horses.
I
what
got
I
another
mean?
one.
Horse.
Yeah, you hit like CF and or
I don't know why he's
C9.
British, but that's just what I pictured him.
At least it's
Oh,
horse.
we love wrong accents on this
yeah,
show.
that's pretty much our thing.
I mean, speak for yourselves, guys.
So, Tom, perfect accents 100% of the time.
Every time. It's
Boy.
actually rather disturbing. This isn't even my real voice.
Supernatural.
Mm-hmm.
Tom's got
That's right.
personality disorder.
Yeah, it
Tom-
hurts.
Yeah, Tom's one of
It wasn't
those.
direction.
Tom's one of those in disguise Australians.
This is the problem. The problem with this show is that there's expectations. I can't tell you about what's really happening in my life. I can't tell you about my period this week. I can't tell you about
Really?
what ships I've had to sail on to get here. Continue.
By late afternoon, it was obvious Fort Pillow would eventually fall to the Confederacy. So your boy Forrest, now that he's there after going through 3 or 4 horses, flies the truce flag. And he's like, hey, looks like you Union guys aren't doing too well. You want to maybe start negotiating a surrender? And the Union forces, in lieu of surrendering, they retreat to the Mississippi River, planning an exfiltration via gunboat. So it's like, instead of surrendering, let's just retreat and get out of here. And then, they can have the fort. Same difference, except we don't have to talk to them.
Very cool.
So it would have been cool, but the gunboat never shows
what
up.
Follows kind of sucks a lot.
Yeah. The gunboat doesn't show up. And Forrest's men, instead of securing the fort, pursue the retreating Union soldiers. And, they find them waiting for the boat that's supposed to be on the Mississippi. Boat's not there, so effectively, Forrest's men, the Confederacy, have pinned the Union against the river, and the Union has nothing to do. And, nowhere to go, and they're clearly battle worn.
Battle weary. Battle
weary and
yes.
battle worn.
Battle tired.
Yeah.
BT.
You get tired, Mike. Soldiers get battle worn.
Battle
just battle fatigued. That's the word. Fatigued. That's the right word.
Yeah.
Right?
That's a good.
Yeah,
I'll
there are
take
a bunch of
fatigued.
these men running for their lives, getting a little sleepy.
sweaty.
Yeah, I'm a little lethargic right now.
I need to take a battle nap.
I need
I'm
my
going to start
G
making
fuel.
mistakes.
That's
if I don't
exactly
call
the
for
German response in World War I and II. Yeah.
I like
That's
the-
a nap, yeah.
or the amphetamine chocolate for the tank drivers.
I need to wake up a little
that. Listen,
bit.
so what you're saying
Yeah.
is that these troops were not exactly water resistant.
These were not Carhartt.
They were not
troops.
So-
Jesus.
It should be known that there's like a significant man shortage for the Union at this time because there's a massive amount of campaigns going on in Virginia. Sherman's about to go fuck Georgia in the mouth, and a bunch of other major campaigns are going on. So a lot of these forts, like Fort Pillow, were pooled for their manpower. So like they were incredibly outnumbered. And unfortunately, a lot of these forts, like Fort Pillow, were manned by United States colored troops and former slaves or freed
Fort Pillow is
blacks,
predominantly
African Americans. And it wasn't just soldiers in there; it was their families, civilians that were still escaping slavery,
Women and
were
children.
coming into Union lines to seek freedom, seek work, whatever they could do, whatever they could find. And so Forrest and a lot of the guys under him just see what's in front of them and get their racist hard-ons on.
They
Continue.
take
Cody.
this weird, hard technicality line because the jerk Forrest he's got the Union forces pinned against the river, and the jerk Forrest does the mental gymnastics in his mind to be like, Fort Pillow is still flying the Union flag, so we're still in active combat, but no one's in the fort. The Union have abandoned the fort, and instead of taking the fort, the Confederacy pursued the Union. So, of course, the fort is still flying Union flag. But the jerk Forrest is just like, oh, Union flag, we're still fighting. So he orders his men to open fire on the soldiers of the Union that are pinned against the Mississippi. And this is...
Men, women, and children are not just shot, but clubbed, bayoneted, and the ones that are...
We're going to get into the weird shit he did.
Yeah, ones that survive, they are brought right back into slavery.
Ugh. I was going to make a joke, but wow, okay.
No, dude, go ahead. Be brave. Be
I was
brave and do it now.
I know, I was going to be like, so he's basically like spawn camping them. He's not taking the
for
flag.
sure.
He's
Fucking
just going
for sure.
down.
That's what I said. The motherfucker is a cheater. He's a hacker. He's got the fucking servers cut in there. You know that man was shot 7 times during the war and never died.
He's got God mode.
God mode.
Seriously.
That's
That's
a
fucking
radar.
plated like
Radar
crazy. He's a big boy. He's a big fat boy.
On top of being relatively bulletproof, he seems like kind of a jerk.
Yeah,
I'm waiting for Cody to drop the bombshell before I
don't
do.
know. We might have multiple bombshells here. Let's find out.
Continue, Cody. Continue.
Hundreds and hundreds of Union soldiers were massacred. Also, as Avery said, women and children of these soldiers in the mix. Those weren't spared at all. Majority of which are black. Keep in mindful. Confederate forces were accused of extreme brutality, including shooting retreating soldiers in the back, shooting the wounded, dismemberment, burning men alive. I have nailing extremities to powder kegs of men and then lighting the powder kegs.
What?
Yeah. They would nail your hand to the powder keg and then light the powder keg and run away just for shits and giggles.
Holy shit.
There was also to get super morbid on you, there was also a tradition among slave-owning whites that if a black male slave got out of line, you cut off his balls and displayed them as an example. They would basically would say, "Oh, that dog bit me. I need to neuter him now." And that was their.
My God.
Yeah. Slavery sucks, everybody, especially American slavery.
Yeah, but
don't forget,
but Avery, it's states' rights.
States' rights.
States' rights.
Drink every time someone says states' rights. Punch a Nazi every time somebody says states' rights. What?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Take a drink if there's not a Nazi in punching range of you.
Damn it!
I don't know.
Sorry.
Tom, I noticed you didn't take a drink and are sitting there.
There's no Nazis for me to punch.
He's drinking for me.
Yeah.
The long swig.
Yeah, I was zoning out for a second there. I was just thinking about how rude this whole thing is. It really.
Yeah, it's super rude.
And also, to finish the atrocities, I have good old fashioned crucifixion, which
You gotta have
only bad guys are crucified, right? There's never been a good guy crucified ever.
It seems to be some kind of missymbolism there.
I don't know.
Like, thou shalt not kill.
Just saying this strictly as like a metaphorical thing. Like if you're going to be such a jerk to someone and you're going to love Jesus Christ, why would you give them the symbol?
He was the first
Christ?
X-Man.
Why would you canonize them like that? It's weird. They're just sick. It seems like
you have to forgive them.
So sick.
It's all about forgiveness, Tom.
Is it?
We're talking about the Fort Pillow Massacre, Mike. Shut up about forgiveness.
All right, let's go back to pillow talk.
So historians refer to this as one of the previous saddest events of American military history. Another historian writes, human blood stood about in pools and brains could have been collected in any amount. So it's just like, you can just scoop a handful of brains off the floor if you so desired.
Yeah.
And then,
this
is for Forrest. This is one of the biggest, battles.
Victories, in quotations.
Battles, not massacres. The Southern folks don't call this a massacre. It's a victory.
You gotta say it in the accent, Cody, if you're gonna be talking about Southern Texas.
I'm in Hawaii. That's the deepest South state ever. Fuck you. Name it more Southern state, Avery. What's more South?
Cody's gonna slip into his Chinese accent any second now. And he can do it.
Oh my God.
It's fine.
I have the pass, maybe.
He's allowed to.
All right, other battles fucking happen. Fast forward a little bit. Spoilers. The real America wins the fucking Civil War.
Real
America. Yes, Mike. No longer slavery are we doing. So if you're wondering, and just so you know, your boy Forrest survives the entire ordeal of the Civil War. So what's a bloodthirsty Confederate commander to do with all this newfound free time?
Become a U.S. senator.
Peanut brittle.
Become the first ever Grand Wizard of the KKK.
Oh! Damn.
Come on. It's a natural fucking progression of job titles. You know what I mean? First you're the intern, and then you're the fucking...
I really have
intern.
Wearing white robes.
I really come to see how much this guy doesn't like black people. It's wild.
He's
going out of his way quite a bit.
He started putting those sheets on.
And Cody, just to piggyback off that, thanks to his actions after the war, President Ulysses S. Grant, when he is elected, will be the first president to mark the KKK as a domestic terrorist group.
Absolutely.
So in a way, Nathan Bedford Forrest is the first U.S. domestic terrorist. Suck a dick, you piece of shit.
Nice. That's good.
Yeah.
And just so you know, the if you want to think of it as like a corporate hierarchy, the CEO is the Grand Wizard. He's the Grand Poobah. He's the man on the big chair with the tallest, pointiest hat.
Yeah.
And he's called the Grand Wizard because our boy Forrest's nickname is the Wizard of the Saddle.
Oh.
So not because he can do magic, which was kind of disappointing. I'm like,
but there's also
at least do some
dragons.
spells.
I don't know where the dragons come from.
Could you imagine if Harry Potter was a tremendous racist? How different that series would
I
be?
mean, Voldemort kind of is. I mean, he's like, mudbloods, you mudbloods. And I hate you dang
can't say that.
mudbloods.
Zwick, bleep all of that shit Avery just said.
Bleep, bleep, mudbloods.
It's fun.
No.
You muggle-born.
Oh my
Could you imagine? Oh, I don't think women would like it as much. I would think it would have a strange edge to it. It's
Harry
too
Potter.
political. It's
Sahara dry.
Down south Harry
I
Potter.
don't know. I'm uncomfortable. I'm very uncomfortable with these wizards.
Harry Potter.
Harold Potter.
No, I get it.
No,
So wait,
too
Well,
much.
that's interesting.
Do either
That,
one of you guys know? So during the 1910s and 1920s, when we started putting up these bullshit statues, are there statues of this scumbag?
There's one in
must
Tennessee, I
have
All
been.
over Tennessee, buddy.
Yeah.
Really?
Just so you know, his
Mhm.
birthplace that was called Chapel Hill gets renamed Bedford.
I'm pretty
Nice.
sure there's
Now
one
what's
on
great
Suffolk,
Long
Long
is-
Island somewhere, out in Mastic.
What?
Yeah, that's
Bedford?
him.
They just removed his statue from Memphis, one of the cemeteries there, and every old white person in Memphis shit a brick over it.
Yeah.
But
I explain why they might have thought to shit a brick later. It's hilarious. You know? It's hilarious in exactly 4 minutes. Oh, excuse me.
Yes, exactly.
Circa 1867-ish, Forrest was sworn into the Klan and began a slew of inhumanly cruel intimidation tactics to suppress black sympathetic voting. So he's like, I couldn't win it in the battlefield, so I'll do it surreptitiously.
Just terrorize
with
and
fucking
kill some black
politics.
folk. Yep, pretty much.
Yeah, he's author Andrew Ward wrote in the spring of 1867, Forrest and his dragoons launched a campaign of midnight parades, ghost masquerades. Use
Very
your
scary.
visual, use your third eye to imagine what's going on. And even killing Negro voters, white Republicans, to scare off blacks from voting for their, preferred office officials.
Dang.
Huh.
In
That piece
Louisiana,
of shit.
1,000 blacks were murdered to suppress voting.
God.
So like all these violent intimidation tactics, and as Avery alluded to earlier, this backfired for our boy Forrest as Grant won the presidency using the slogan let us have peace. So because the Forrest and the Klan was so underhanded and violent, the candidate asking for peace easily won, aka your boy Ulysses.
Yeah, I mean, that's what people wanted. They didn't want
So-
this shit anymore.
No.
Exactly. Good, Tom. They didn't want this shit anymore. One of those people was actually Forrest himself. So after a single year as the Seminole Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan, he became disenfranchised. Like, oh, you guys don't work. Like, it doesn't work to be like racist assholes.
He literally is like, wow, you guys went a little too crazy with it.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
for me, that's a lot.
Yeah. You guys
You
remember
guys
the
took it to the next
brains that you
level.
could scoop off the ground? This is
Like,
too much,
oh my
dude.
God.
I did
So,
that. I've been
my
mashing people
word.
terrible human rights atrocities in my name. And you guys are, let me tell you something. I would not want to sit down at a Taco Bell with you.
Yeah.
Forrest ordered the Klan to henceforth dissolve, burn all their hoods and robes, and cease all operations indefinitely. And of course,
They didn't.
the Klan did just that, permanently disbanding, in perpetuity, retiring to the annals of history, and everything was great
Anal.
forever after. Remember
Until
when that
1930.
happened?
Oh, yeah.
That sounds like a lie, actually, what you just
That sounds like a multiverse
Fucking
thing that
JK.
Marvel would do, you know.
Yeah.
The Klan didn't do that. So the guy that invented the Klan lost the
Seat.
steering wheel, and the Klan's still going today.
Did it
It's
like
just, like-
disband and come back like in like the 20s or some shit like that? It like was
Like,
gone.
exactly, Mike. Exactly.
Yeah,
That's
just like
the
the
time
Who.
period that these monuments were going up, the time that
yeah.
the Lost Cause took off, and that's the time
Exactly.
that you would have seen like KKK marching down Pennsylvania Avenue in the 20s. That's like how popular they were at the
Oh, yeah, I
time
can
in this
imagine,
country.
yeah.
Weird enough.
There are photos of
Weird
that.
enough, their headquarters was in Connecticut.
Yep.
next to Nambla.
Yeah.
I heard.
That's where Rem. That's where
It's actually the buildings were connected. Did you guys know
All
that violent
entwined.
racists are actually pedophiles? It's crazy. It's
Probably.
Intertwined together.
Feel no
That
guilt.
makes sense.
Anyway.
You don't feel guilt in numbers, is what they say.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Weird.
Cody.
A bunch of weird, disgusting hands patting you on the back
Yeah.
for eternity. This is going to go well.
Yes, sir.
Cody, how's this weird bitch ass die?
You want me to jump there? I got 2 more slides.
2 more slides.
Jeez, Cody.
What,
You're
are you
supposed
giving
Let's
away
go
our
there.
recipes? I use Post-its. Keep
I'm
going.
sorry.
Tom wrote on a
Okay,
napkin.
We got to
over
fillet
here.
this bastard. I
He's a bad bastard.
Continue, Cody.
So
Yeah.
1871, Forrest testifies before a congressional investigation because, as Avery said, he's fucking terrorist boy at this point.
Everyone's just like,
Yeah.
hello, you've been
And
busy.
we have Forrest. Biographer George Cantor wrote, Forrest ducked, weaved, denying all knowledge, but admitted he knew some of the people involved. He sidestepped some questions and pleaded failure of memories to others. Afterwards, he admitted to, quote-unquote, gentlemanly lies. He wanted nothing more to do with the Klan, but felt honor bound to protect former associates.
What a clown.
Yeah. And in 1870, Forrest
Have you guys ever seen the Chappelle Show sketch where he's like, I plead the fifth?
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty much what he was doing.
It's
The whole time. He's like, I plead the fifth.
Yeah. Wink.
Yeah, wink.
Early 1870s, Forrest reacted to a 4-victim lynching by publicly offering to exterminate the white marauders who disgraced their race by this cowardly murder of Negroes. So he's, as a good politician, he's 180. He's like, who's killing all these people of color? And
Is he fucking Lindsey
that
Graham? Like, what?
Yeah. Lindsey Graham. Yeah. No, Lindsey Graham just betrays his anus because he wants.
Yeah, because I love Chick-fil-A.
You know that, like, you know how like some people have that autoimmune disease that it's not autoimmune disease. It's like that disease that turns certain chemicals in their bloodstream to alcohol and they're drunk all the time.
Auto fermentation disease.
Yeah, exactly.
Thing.
So Lindsay, he's got that, but it just turns his blood into poppers, and he's just ready to get fucked in his ass all day.
Dude, his
But he
ass
won't
is
admit
like
it.
aped, dude.
It's fun. He's ready. He's relaxed.
He just needs
He's
an
relaxed.
That's
OnlyFans,
what
man.
Forrest's
He'll make more
thing
money.
was.
That's right.
I wish he would just be himself instead of the charade of a wiener.
Well, back then, everyone was very judgmental.
Yes, Mike.
Yeah, right now.
Without Twitter, even. July 5th, 1875, Forrest gave an inspired speech before a black Southern advocate group aiming for equal rights. He's seemingly too warmly received for being the butcher of Fort Pillow. Even a young black girl approaches him and gifts him a bouquet arrangement. Like, oh, you're so good.
Yeah,
That's a little tasteless.
Yeah. The Klan did find that tasteless, Tom, because they were just like, what are you doing? This is, he lost his, white supremacist sidekicks at this point.
He lost his card.
180.
He had a
Still one of the
rebrand.
Grand Wizard.
Yeah, he had a bad rebrand.
Yeah.
You know what
They
I mean?
broke his wand.
When New Coke came out, everyone's like, "Oh, we fucking hate New Coke. Bring back the old white supremacy. I mean, Coke."
There's Diet Coke. I don't want the diet
Yeah.
shit.
So,
Where's Pepsi and lime?
Yeah.
so he was his speech was called a disgusting exhibition of himself at the Negro Jamboree, according to the Macon newspaper, which was a white supremacist periodical at the time. Now, Avery, ask me how this gentleman died.
How did he die, Cody?
Your boy Forrest shuffled off this mortar coil a la Wilford Brimley. Diabetes, Memphis, October 29th, 1877. Forrest's eulogist said, Lieutenant General Nathan Bedford, Forrest, though dead, yet speaketh. His acts have photographed themselves upon the hearts of thousands, and will speak there forever. So you can see, like, how some Southerners might think he's a rights advocate.
A hero, quote unquote, that's in their words.
Diabetes
From
is
this
terrible,
theater.
but like, did this guy at least lose a bunch of limbs and fingers? Like,
He lost 6 feet.
they just put him back on
Oh.
again
You've
and
done that.
sawed him off.
Yeah, like a Mr. Fucking Potato Head. Like a racist-ass Mr. Potato.
Toss him overboard.
Sorry, we can't say Mr. Potato Head anymore. It's
Why?
literally just
No, we
Potato
can't.
Head.
It's just potato head.
Really?
Or just
Just-
potato
Oh.
or French
Yeah,
fry.
they don't want to
Yeah.
do Mr. and Mrs.
small fry.
anymore.
They don't want you to assume that Mr. Potato cares at all.
I heard he's got a
There
fat
you have
cock.
him.
What's that?
I heard he's got a fat cock.
He's got a fat
He does.
cock. That's the
Yeah.
problem. No one wants to share that.
If
it's just
they always let that part
potatoes-
out in the toy set. Fat
Yeah.
cock part.
Oh, I'm gonna give you a starch wound.
Could be a woman
Yeah.
now. Could be a woman.
Yeah, then he
Could be.
China.
Either way, it's salty.
All right, well,
The ambiguity of this is
Always
fine.
salty.
I'm glad this
There you
month.
have
Well,
it.
there's a Mrs. Potato Head too. What the fuck? Isn't
Well,
that
no,
Mrs.
she's fine because she's a feminist, but the other one's just
Well,
potato.
well,
All right, continue.
Just
There you
Don't
have
talk
him,
to any
Nathan
spud, you
Bedford
don't know.
Forrest, a.k.a. the Wizard of the Saddle, Confederate Army mastermind, the butcher behind Fort Pillow Massacre, and the original Grand Wizard of the Klan. Rest
no matter
in peace.
how much,
Lame.
no matter how much he didn't like their tactics.
Yeah.
Afterwards.
He
Oh, my
reneged.
goodness. Well, could you imagine, like, Dale Earnhardt just having a history of beating the shit out of women, like, daily and throwing them off cliffs and stuff, and then getting into race car driving?
Yeah.
That's kind of like the mentality I'm dealing with here. Like, well, he's
like
not
the
a cop,
underdog,
and he'll be missed because he crashed.
He'll be MIST
He missed.
after the crash.
Anyway, Cody, thank you for bringing in that guy. I have no
Little
idea.
fat.
I don't know how I'm going to sleep tonight. That's pretty horrifying, to be honest with you.
I'm glad we got to roast him. Though.
You
I'm
go to
glad one of
sleep
you
on
had
your
him.
fort pillow.
I'm never going to the South.
He's the roughest. He's the roughest one to like touch on from the Confederacy. They're all assholes, but he's like king asshole for all the KKK stuff. So, thank you, Cody, for
Thank
lighting
you
his ass
for steering me on that one.
for filleting him. Fillet him. Anyway, sorry.
So look, now that we've gotten over this heinous Forrest person,
I like that. That's a better nickname than
Heinous Forrest.
anything he's had.
yes,
Yeah.
can you please take us away, Travis, to somewhere that's maybe quite almost just as violent?
Tom,
Let's go there.
welcome to the Confederacy.
Damn Confederates.
Yeah, dude.
We're gonna be doing something equally as violent. But
Oh, great.
Yes.
you know
a lot
what's
of
the
fun.
craziest thing here? Your guy Cody, your Forrester, he was not a war criminal.
Forrest.
He wasn't a war criminal.
Nope. Never tried. Never
no,
tried.
No, technically, no.
I have brought you one of two men that were the only war criminals of the Civil War. And
There's only two.
Yes, there's only two.
Yep. Only two.
And I kind of got a little bit
Mhm.
I got a little bit excited about this, so I'm roasting two people real quick. A double combo.
Oh.
Are they twins?
Double whammy.
You got a double Dave's burger combo meal. Wow.
Yes,
Okay,
we are
anyway.
going to talk about the notorious Saltville Massacre.
Oh,
and-
more.
And
Yes.
the Brigadier General Felix Huston
Oh.
Robertson, and probably the coolest name but worstest person ever, Champ Ferguson.
Yeah, dog.
very cool
Did he
name,
play
but very
baseball?
bad person.
I'm interested.
Yeah.
Champ.
I'll take him home.
So let's start with the main douchebag here, Felix Robertson. Felix was born in, and I didn't know this was a place. This has like dashes in between. Washington on the Bravos, Texas.
That sounds English as fuck.
Oh.
He was born there in 1832.
Okay.
Interestingly enough, Felix looks pretty Mexican. So yay,
Who's
Well,
What is
yay,
story?
funny
Confederate-
you
just
should
like-
say that.
yay, Confederate inclusivity, right? They're doing a little bit of they're adding that's I feel like this is like businesses nowadays where they're like, we gotta get them all
Collaboration.
in there.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's. This is why the Confederacy truly failed. It wasn't
Yeah.
inclusive enough.
It
Yeah.
wasn't inclusive enough. They had one Mexican general.
But
That was
no
it.
LGBTQs.
None of them. No alphabet
Yeah.
people.
Ain't
Just
no
the
brown
fucking-
on the rainbow.
No, it's just one Mexican
it.
guy named Felix, and he's pretty white looking.
So actually,
Lining up for me.
his father Jerome
Oh,
B.
Jerome.
Robertson.
Wait, a white guy named Jerome, I might add. Too.
Yes,
It's like
he
the
was-
first white guy named Jerome I've ever seen a picture of. But anyway,
Yeah.
continue.
I have a couple, but that's for a different day.
There you go. Yeah.
Jerome, his daddy, was super white, and he was also a Confederate general, so it's probably a little bit of nepotism that maybe Felix got the job. I don't know. They judge it skin color down there. I don't know. It's fucking weird.
Whoa,
Yeah.
whoa. Really?
So Felix was initially commissioned as a second lieutenant in the Confederate Army. He actually participated in the shelling of Fort Sumter in Charleston,
That's a big
South
one.
Carolina.
Yeah.
I actually went there. That was kind of cool. Have you ever been
Cool.
there, Avery?
So I have not yet, Travis. You have. Okay, so I went when I was a kid, but I don't count it because being a kid, you're like, where's
You're a different person.
Amusement park, yeah. So I wasn't old enough to appreciate it yet.
Yeah, I was like in high school, so I definitely was more excited about the.
So I'm Travis, and I'm in high school, and we're. No, I don't assume you sounded like that. I don't assume you did.
Yeah, no, I was more excited about the alligator fritters that I ate, but
Dude, those things are dope.
Those
though.
So Felix did quick work rising through the ranks of the Confederates. He was captain at the Battle of Shiloh. Is that how you say it? Shiloh?
Yep.
Oh.
Shiloh. Like the dog. Like the dog,
dog.
Shia LaBeouf.
He was major and given command of Reserve Artillery of the Army of Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
Then on to Lieutenant Colonel of the Confederate Horse Artillery. And now I don't know what a horse artillery is. Is that just launching
with
long
guns,
dogs?
So artillery, like in the Civil War, if you have like a Civil War army, you have your infantry corps, which is all the guys marching in straight lines and whatnot. Then you have, and usually there's like 3 of them. Then you have like a cavalry corps, which is of course all the horse soldiers on horseback, and they gallop, they do reconnaissance, they do raids, they do all whatever. Okay. Each corps has a artillery brigade. The infantry, it's just called artillery because the artillery supports infantry attacks or defenses. But then horse artillery is really fancy because they have smaller amounts of cannons so they can move quickly in and out of places.
Horse-drawn cannons.
So like a normal battery is either 4 to 6 guns, while a horse artillery is usually 2 guns. So they can, pop, and then keep going. And it's usually to support either a reconnaissance or just kind of like test the defenses of something before the rest of the main body gets there. And that has been your military minute.
Oh.
Can I have another one?
You're fucking fantastic at this.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Keep drinking. Get on their level and keep drinking.
All right. Guys, I'm on bottle number 2.
Oh.
I was picturing some Barnum and Bailey ass shit where like they're launching horses at the Union.
I mean, I honestly
catapult.
love that. I love that idea. If they wanted to, okay, so you've heard the war elephant story, right? Real quick dovetail. The King of Siam offered President Lincoln a horde of elephants, of war elephants, as they called them, to assist the Union Army against the Confederacy. He declined. But
what an idiot!
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Travis.
I'm like, we've seen Lord of the Rings: Return of the King,
One
right?
mouse.
Like, imagine the Confederates being like, elephants. That would
mouse,
be crazy. Yeah.
Robert E. Lee would have shit his pants. He didn't have any peanuts to throw, like on the other side of the battlefield.
Yeah, right? Oh, God. What a shitty charge to be in Eleanor Fields. Anyway, continue.
So he participated in the
Nerd.
Atlanta campaign, and boom, he was a brigadier general. And he got himself a brigade and a cavalry unit. And here's where all the bullshit starts. I'm skipping past this guy's career because it's just him going through the war. He's
just leveling up,
right.
just getting his rank up.
He's leveling up, dog. Yeah,
grinding,
doing a lot of multiplayer.
Scumbag.
Yeah,
just grinding.
Yeah.
And you know that he had aim assist on, Mike.
Yeah, he's fucking. He's on
for
Linux. He's fucking wall hacking. I know it.
We're throwing slurs out tonight. I didn't realize. Excuse me, gentlemen.
No, total hacker. Total fucking hacker.
So Felix led his troops to a massive victory at the First Battle of Saltville, Virginia. Or Saltville, I'm sorry. Single salt, 1 grain.
One
grain of
salt.
salt.
One little gram of salt.
Yeah, which is just what it sounds like. It's a town that makes salt. Felix was not gonna let the boys in blue take the South's precious supply of Himalayan
salt.
Everyone likes that shit.
It's tasty.
It does taste good.
Makes the potatoes that much better. Anyway, continue.
You ever had fries without salt?
Yeah, they're
Abysmal.
terrible.
Shitty.
Salt bagel, real good. Try it out.
Yeah,
That's
it is.
too much.
Salt bagel with cream cheese. Ooh.
I actually had that at a funeral one time.
Sheesh.
And, I was crying because of the bagel.
really thirsty, but it's good.
Yeah, it was terrible.
That's amazing.
gotta
have
Don't
love.
listen to Tom. He doesn't know what he's
Iced
talking
coffee.
about.
Good contribution, Mike.
So the battle is not really remembered as much as what happened in the aftermath, and that gets again. Sorry, Tom, we're entering really gross, sick shit again.
I can stomach it. I'm just trying to have fun.
Yeah, Tom, don't.
It's not like an
don't throw up
apology.
over
I'm just
here.
trying to keep people listening. And
Tom,
Oh,
let's
don't worry.
let's
It's
have
fun.
fun and pause this story for a sec and jump into Champ Ferguson.
Champ Ferguson.
Oh, they're intertwined? You did
Yeah.
like a Doctor Who on
It's a
us.
little like it's a mesh together. So
All right.
Champ was born in
Who's this guy?
1821 in Clinton County, Kentucky. He was a very violent man, also known as a psychopath.
Just one of those people.
Yeah.
That's
still
that.
out
If your
Yeah.
first name's Champ, you're going to
Yeah.
be cutting people open for sure. Anyway.
No deception detected.
So this started before the war. So Champ wasn't someone who'd be like, saw some PTSD and got fucked up by battle and like just was like, I don't care, they're human meat. No, he was always a fucking monster.
Well, your name
So
is
he's
Champ
the kind of
Ferguson.
guy that's like killing like squirrels and rabbits in the shed kind of guy.
Yeah.
But-
You're
Yeah.
familiar.
It's hard to distinguish in the South in the 1830s because everyone was killing squirrels. Like,
Well, we had to eat something.
Why are
dang
you
it.
torturing our dinner?
Yeah. Good cooking.
We gotta
Yeah,
eat that
squirrel
thing. Come on,
kebab
man.
is juicier
It's
post
more like-
torture.
it's more like, hurry up, this is a chore. He did it. Champ was slow, intentionally. Very
I'm not
scary.
torturing it.
Mike,
I'm eating it afterwards.
Mike, if you have to eat 2 squirrels, are you doing the kebab or the stir fry?
Oh, that's a good question.
Do the burrito.
I might do the
wrap.
kebab.
The wrap is tactical.
Do the kebab. We need
All
2
right.
kebabs.
I like that.
Squirrel dip.
Yeah,
Solid
if it's
answer.
well-
Dude,
if it's well done,
kebabs
I'll
are
eat
like
that
the
shit.
shit.
Yeah, have
I
it with
fucking
like
love
the
kebabs.
Parmesan hummus.
I'm near Saltsville, right? Is it near Saltsville?
The salt.
Get the
filled
salt
with
on
ginger.
the
Salt on my
kebabs.
squirrel.
You just
Yeah.
stick it in a cave, and out will come a man licking it like a deer.
Sounds good to me.
So
That's one kebab down.
Yeah. So Champ had a little altercation with his neighbors, I'm assuming over a squirrel kebab, in
Not noise complaints.
1858. These guys were named the Evans brothers.
Avon brothers.
And this resulted in Champ stabbing them
Champ.
both to death multiple times, like
Fuck,
psychopath
that's
style.
savage.
And
Yeah.
then
Good.
evading an angry mob and slipping away with his family to neighboring Tennessee. So this wasn't like he was like just some like guy in his, early 20s, no family. Like he's like, I just stabbed
we
2
gotta
men
go."
to death. We have to run with the kids. Get the kids together. Where's the bug out bag?
It's weird how things change. In the 1970s, it was the Champ would wear a gray sweatsuit and run through the streets
I really-
of Philadelphia.
I just want to tell you, I really hope I go to a museum and see a 19th century go bag somewhere. To go.
Yeah, right.
And this was for making quick escapes back in the 19th century.
Well, here you can see our squirrel fritters. It's been a frozen, dried bag of squirrel fritters.
It's just cigarettes.
Yeah, just
cigarettes and squirrel jerky.
That's fine.
So when
Delicious.
the war broke out, Champ was one of those Champ had a family that was actually split. So his brother, I'm guessing his name was Boss Ferguson or something as
Oh
rad
my
as that.
God,
We
no
don't know
way.
his name.
Boss
It's really
Ferguson.
named Boss.
I'm the boss first.
That's a fucking cool name.
But Boss, I'm calling him Boss Ferguson. Boss
We're doing it.
Ferguson
So
fought
good.
for the Union's 1st Kentucky Cavalry. So
Fuck yeah.
his own brother fought for the Union against Champ, but Champ really didn't
Boss
join.
Champ.
Champ really didn't join the Confederate army because he had other plans. He formed a vicious guerrilla unit of mountain folk out in Appalachias.
I mean,
They're still there. Anyway,
it sounds scary.
pretty sure
on
that's
paper.
that's literally the plot of Wrong Turn. But anyway, continue.
Yeah.
Like,
So this guerrilla unit operated under the instruction of Confederate generals. So they were kind of what we do today, what America does today with other countries. Like, oh yeah, we don't recognize you as a guerrilla unit. You might behead people, but we'll throw you some money and tell you what to do.
here's the Tomahawk missile.
Yeah.
Have fun.
So Champ's violence was unequal. There's stories about him decapitating his prisoners and rolling their heads down the hill.
It says bocce ball.
That sounds
also-
like it may have been added on. Just like
Yeah.
they chopped off his head. It's like roll down the hill.
Oh,
What are you
okay.
gonna do with his head?
Yeah.
He killed his own brother, Chief Ferguson.
Chief.
Boss
Chief.
Ferguson.
Name is Chief.
Archduke.
We got
Ferguson.
Chief, we got Boss, we got Champ.
Yeah. So Champ was willing to kill the
Shit.
elderly. He was willing to kill bedridden
What?
men. Confederate
No.
authorities actually arrested him and charged him with murdering a government official. He served 2 months, but the charges could not be proved, and he was released.
Wow.
I mean, that's how you get out.
Yeah,
So,
back then it was easy. They didn't have, like,
He
photos
basically
and
was
shit.
like the start of like the only Confederate suicide squad that you'll ever see in any comic ever. Like,
Yeah.
he's-
Would that be too touchy to make that comic? I think it would be fun. Because
I'm pretty damn
nowadays-
sure there's a Captain Confederate who's like a villain, or like the Confederacy or some Southern asshole was like, yeah, it's just Captain Confederate.
Dude, I
Google
want to.
Google Captain Confederate.
I don't-
You're going to be in
I don't
Cody,
want
look
to be
it
on
up.
that list, Avery. I don't
Look it
want
up.
to be
Yeah,
on that
Cody,
No,
list.
your research tonight. Look it up.
I want to see
Damn
Quentin
it.
Tarantino ruin his career by doing Inglourious Bastards 2 about this guy.
No.
I don't think that Quentin Tarantino can possibly ruin his career. The man has said the N-word so many times on film.
Yeah,
like,
I was going to
for
say
fun.
in front of Samuel L. Jackson. And if you say that and Samuel L. Jackson doesn't kill you, then
You have to
damn, you
pass.
must be black somehow.
You're basically the King Ferguson of
Pretty
LA.
much. Yeah, is there a King Ferguson in that family, Travis?
That's their dad, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
So,
either way,
King
he's
Chief
fine.
Boss
So.
Champ.
Yeah, so Champ Ferguson acknowledged that him and his band of mountain folk squirrel eaters killed as many as 100 people. He said 100 people himself. So I killed 100 men myself.
Sheesh.
But he can't count, so that's fun.
Yeah, whatever.
Pass my fingers.
Slight
How many I
tangent.
killed.
Slight tangent. I love the term squirrelivore.
Yeah.
Squirrelivore.
That sounds like a sci-fi original film.
All right.
I'll do it.
Yeah. So Champ and his Confederate goons were at the first Battle of Saltville. And after General Felix Robertson won the day, he turned to Champ and was like, "You guys want to have some fun?" And, you know, that type of fun is not going to be fun. So the Battle of Saltville, on the Union side was mainly composed of colored cavalry. So it was the 5th United States Colored Cavalry and the 6th United States Colored Cavalry. And they were pretty fucked up after this battle. And the majority of them, you know, these were black soldiers and white officers. And the majority of them were recovering at this Union Field Hospital. So Ferguson and his men went about murdering wounded black men and their white officers in their hospital beds.
They prefer the term cavalry of color, I think.
Okay.
You could just say black. Just say black.
Say black.
The one brown
Civil
guy in
War.
the one
I like
brown
it.
guy here is telling you it's
yeah,
okay.
Did you notice you popped the cherry for that one? You were the first person to say black.
Okay, so
I was just like, thank God.
Dude, I'm just...
So,
That's
yeah,
like the...
like
the colored cavalry is the actual term, though.
the official term, yeah, is colored.
Capital C's.
I saw that in my research
from the
too,
1860s.
and I was like, "Oh, all right. Well, that's
doing it
the
then.
thing."
Another quick tangent. So when I was at the park, my first summer at the National Park Service, I had a very nice old white couple who told me that they hadn't really had many colored rangers before, and I had to politely explain to them that that's no longer the term that I would like to be described by. You can either call me black or you can call me African American, but don't call me colored. So you're good either way.
There we go.
Well, fair
There you
enough.
go.
I like that.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Yeah. I make it easy.
So
Well, I wonder what that car conversation. I wonder what they said to each other on the way.
That colored ranger.
When you left,
I
yeah.
mean,
As
sorry,
soon as they
black
left, just like,
ranger.
would you believe that motherfucker?
They spat in the spittoon behind them.
I've talked to old people before. A lot of them really suck.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's weird.
Just a little bit.
So the reason
Continue, Travis.
why this is a combo script is because I didn't want to forget about Felix Robertson, because he boasted after the battle that he had not only told Ferguson to go do this, he had joined in the killing himself, saying that Ferguson had killed nearly all the Negroes and that he had joined in on the act of villainy. Those are his words. So
He said it,
villain.
not us. He said it.
Yeah.
That's his words.
yeah.
Yes, son.
So, in the end, the massacre killed 45 to 50 Union soldiers that were mainly wounded, majority of them black. When General Robert E. Lee of the Confederacy, my great-great-great-great-grand uncle.
Good dodge.
Yeah.
Are you're serious, Travis?
Yeah, I am.
Travis Lee.
I am. I've
All right,
done
I'm
the
gonna
research.
contain my. Okay, good. That's fascinating. Holy shit. Anyway, continue.
So when Robert E.
It's
Lee,
his favorite one.
Yeah, I've tried to roast him. It's just boring.
It's just too close to home. It's too close
it's
to
Oh,
home.
really?
According to
Really,
him, it's
Travis?
boring.
Continue, sir.
So Robert E. Lee learned of Robertson's conduct, and he was shocked and disgusted. He told General John C. Breckinridge that a general officer should have been guilty of the crime you mentioned, and instructed him to prefer he preferred against charging him, but putting him on trial. So
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well,
Interesting.
well,
So-
whatever Granddaddy says goes. As you
grand
say.
uncle.
Grand uncle.
Oh, yeah, right. I forget.
So, but what happened was, unfortunately, Felix was never tried of his instruction of Ferguson opening up on these wounded soldiers and participating in the killing. He got out of it scot-free, and he survived the war, returned back to Texas, and became a lawyer, and died in 1928 at the ripe old age of 92.
Good year.
Oh.
Racist people live really long.
Yeah.
Why is that, Avery?
Focus.
Kept alive by pure venom.
Nature,
And
yeah.
It's
evil,
like
I
it
guess.
pickles their soul
It
into
really does.
perpetuity.
It's focus.
Really
It's
does.
focus. When you can,
Amongst other things, sure.
when you can divert all the stress in your life to something else.
If you
Dang
can
it, it's not
externalize
my
it.
fault, molasses.
Yeah, exactly.
These damn brown people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Then you can sleep well every night. Hey,
Yeah.
how was your night? It was great because I'm a racist. You know, that's like,
I'm racist.
yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, my.
Mike, are you racist?
No, I'm not racist.
So you sleep like shit.
I sleep terribly.
Yeah, exactly.
He's an insomniac.
We all, yeah, there you go. I'd rather sleep like shit than be racist.
Yeah, I think
Amen.
that's the
Hey.
common consensus. I think we get that
Avery,
here.
get me a shirt that says that. I'll wear
Right,
that.
right. Yeah, let's trademark that.
I like that, man. TM.
I sleep
So-
like shit
Sleep
'cause
like
I'm not
shit.
racist.
So,
Get
Champ,
racist.
So what else, Travis?
That
What
gives a
else we
whole
got
new
about
meaning
shit?
to the word woke, actually.
Yeah, fucking
Ooh, very true.
third eye.
Far too woke.
Travis, what about
Yeah.
Champ?
So Champ, on the other hand, he did get the justice served. As I mentioned, this is one of two men that were convicted, tried, and hanged of war crimes during
He met
the
his
Civil
end by
War.
hanging?
Yes.
Oh.
So
He probably was laughing the whole way.
So
to the
other people
guillotine.
agreed this guy was war criminal
Oh,
material.
oh yeah. I mean, like even the Confederate generals were like,
Fuck me.
Were like,
This guy sucks.
fuck this dude.
That's scum of the earth if the Confederacy was like, that guy's a war criminal.
Yeah.
That guy, you need to kill that guy.
So
Well,
We
we
were
were
to do
just-
something.
Look, we were just trying to enslave 4 million people.
This guy was
who's
going to
we?
eat
Fuck you.
them.
I'm
He was
going to
going to eat 4 million people. We have to kill him. Like, that's basically what it was.
He was going to do next level stuff, man. He was going to say bad
Yeah,
words.
man.
yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
So on October 10th, 1865, Champ Ferguson stepped up to the gallows and gave the following really shitty speech.
Oh, dear.
Send it.
Try to read it here.
What do you mean try?
Got to do it in the
You want me to read it
accent.
for
You got to
you?
do it, Travis. Got to get that good old Southern boy accent.
I am yet and will die a rebel. I killed a good many men, but of course,
Oh.
I never killed a man who did not know I was seeking, who I did not know I was seeking my life.
What?
That doesn't make
Travis
I
is
copied and
possessed.
pasted.
Exactly.
Understood.
Exactly. It doesn't make sense. Continue.
I always heard that Federals would not take me prisoner, but would shoot me down wherever they found me. That is what made me kill more than I otherwise would have done.
I don't know who's screwing up, Travis or like the
No, it's this.
transcriber.
It's this guy.
I-
It's this guy.
I repeat that I
straight
die a rebel out and out. And my last request is my body be moved to White County, Tennessee, to be buried on good rebel soil.
Bury me underneath the White Castle.
I really, really hope they were like, "Oh, fuck this guy. Let's just fucking like bury him in fucking Cincinnati or something."
Yeah, right.
Like,
And then
Well, whatever's easier for
Yeah,
us.
you didn't
'cause,
get it.
you know, I don't
bury him
think,
in
I don't
Ohio.
think God's
San
going to be
Diego.
mad at us if we just kind of put him in that dumpster.
Or he said White County. What if they misinterpreted it as White Castle and they just buried him in Jersey?
yeah, no one.
It'd be hilarious if they just buried him in a black church.
Yes. Yes.
Just laying there forever
We should
for
be in
eternity.
charge
Like,
of
this is
history.
not what I was thinking.
Yeah.
One bit.
I decree that all Confederates shall now be reinterred and buried in black churches, so then we can then draw power from their bodies. And yes, that's a
for
great idea.
And then-
Great idea, guys.
After Champ Ferguson gave this stupid ass speech, he swung. And that's our boys.
Tire swing?
That's
Oh, yeah.
champ.
They
Did he
hung
take it like a? Did he take it like a champ? Did he get hanged like a champ?
Oh, well,
Did he
you
get
know
hung
that
like a
everyone
champ?
gets a boner when they hang from the noose. So
that
everyone
true?
saw
Other
this
things.
tiny
Yeah. Oh,
fucking
for
2-inch
sure.
cock.
You really get a boner when you die?
Yeah.
Apparently, you get a boner, you shit yourself, one of the two.
I'm fucking fried, man. I don't know.
Is it? Well, look, either way. I mean,
Well, now I know when I die not to look.
Are you suffering from ED? Go hang yourself. I don't know.
Yeah, David Carradine was fucking
guess you really
showing
had it.
his
Yeah, this is
full
hot.
fucking
This is hot.
12-inch dong.
He was like, I can't feel it anymore. I
Maybe
got to do
that's
kung
where the
fu
word-
in my mind.
Yeah, maybe that's where the word hung comes from.
I guarantee you, Champ
Ooh.
Ferguson died with a hard on. That's sick fuck.
Yeah, and it was
he liked
fucking, it was a little 2-incher.
My goodness.
You poop your
He's
pants
probably
too.
like,
when you die, right?
my little chode swinging in the wind.
Yeah.
Anyway,
It's true. You poop your pants, you shoot directly.
And you have a boner. That's crazy.
Well, you get a boner.
a
And
little
shit.
little chode boner. It's fine.
That's dope.
Boner.
Either way.
I can't wait to die.
Yeah. Finally get that boner everyone's been talking about.
You're so Gen Z, Mike. I can't wait to die. What are you on TikTok?
Oh, you-
Let's go and die.
I want to die.
Eh.
I hate
Eh.
that guy.
Hey, Tom.
Yeah.
Country road, take me home.
Let's do some clean reading, Tom.
Where I belong.
You belong there, all right, descendant.
Okay, guys. I got a fun one because
Why's that piece of paper blank, Tom?
there's nothing on here. There's nothing on this piece of paper.
Why are
I'm gonna
you
make
doing
it
that?
up?
Tom's
That's a
going off the
napkin.
fly right now.
As Avery reported, told us during the break, no one actually knows anything about the Confederacy.
It's
so
true.
I'm going to just wing it.
Confederacy.
On the
gonna-
spot. I
Anyway.
like that.
I'm going to repeat what I remember of Stars Upon Thars. And
We'll be judging.
I'm going to get into this. No, come on. I'm doing a Confederate guy, and his name is Robert Cobb Kennedy.
Who the fuck is that?
I'm glad you asked.
You'll find out, Mike.
Oh, wait. Is he one of the Kennedys? Is he like...
His great grandpappy?
He's definitely one of the
uh,
Kennedys. He's
Probably everyone's related to fucking somebody. At
All
some
Father
point.
Kennedy.
I wouldn't
Bobby?
be surprised if one of his relatives had sex with Marilyn Monroe under a table. That would be fine.
I would
I-
have sex with Marilyn Monroe under a table, to be honest.
I would have sex with a table underneath Marilyn Monroe.
That's interesting.
That's a milking table.
Yes.
Also, wait, so he's just related to Bobby Kennedy.
No,
We don't.
only Bobby
Just
Kennedy.
Bobby.
Directly
Only Bobby.
Right.
Yeah,
It's just
it's a
DNA
Bobby
works
and
that way.
him.
So, anyways, let's get into this guy. So, he's a Confederate man-child, and
He's a guy.
he's the symbol of failure in every regard.
Oh.
Now,
Nice.
got all the
Strong
squandered opportunity,
intro.
cowardice, and zero scout knowledge that you can tell your kids about, tucking them in, making them feel better about the world. Okay, I'm talking about
Making them woke.
I'm talking about, like, have you ever been to a pep rally?
Yes.
Okay,
Unfortunately.
imagine the guy at the pep rally who's wants the team to win, but he's also really sad. Okay, like, because the team doesn't like him that much.
He's just there, like, going through the motions.
He's
but, like,
there.
He's got
Taking
the
his
t-shirt
paycheck.
on. Yeah.
He's sad. He wakes up every day. He goes, team spirit. And as soon as he gets to school, everyone goes, "Fuck you sideways, you piece of shit." Now,
That was kind of
Don't
like
forget
me.
my
I went-
homework, though.
I went to float night once, and I got drunk, and then there are all the people that were like, "Yeah, team spirit,"
right.
and I was like, "I'm gonna go throw up in behind the dumpster."
I'm going to go
What is
throw
the
up
theme
the
of
spirits
float
I
night?
drank.
You never
You
heard
know,
of
like
float night?
homecoming.
Float night.
Oh.
Explain.
Oh, well, I
float-
know homecoming, but float? Like, they make floats for your homecoming? 'Cause
Yeah,
they didn't
yeah.
for mine.
yeah. We
Wow.
would
I
do
don't
like
know.
all the dumb people that were way too into school spirit would make fucking floats.
And there'd be dumb
Yeah, not
themes
not,
like
not in
Pixar.
Pennsylvania, I'll tell you that, man. They didn't have no floats for no Pennsylvania homecoming queens or
No
kings or
floats.
anything like that.
Yeah, for some reason on Long Island, we have a tremendous homeless problem, but we are willing to buy vehicles to let teenagers put
And-
flowers on.
Yeah, the worst
Yeah.
years of your life, high school. Like, who wants to remember that shit? You know?
Well, maybe some people are just homeless because they want to be. Let's
I mean,
continue.
That's true.
Now, no, well, it's not like that. Look, I made it an analogy here that is a slight false equivalency, as I would say that he was welcomed by some of his Confederate.
What was his name
peers.
again? Robbie?
So his name is Robert Cobb Kennedy, but I'm going to call him
Robin?
Robbo
Robert?
Cobb.
Robbo.
Robbo Cobb is more
Bravo
fun.
Cup. I like that.
Good.
Bravo Cobb is really cool, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to do Robbo
Daddy
Cobb.
likes that.
So Robbo Cobb, he's born October 25th, 1835, in the great state of Georgia, to John Bailey Kennedy, a respected quack, and a woman named Eliza Lydia Cobb. Now, this woman had a lot of money.
Oh,
because her family had a lot. She didn't make it herself.
Oh yeah. Let's
yeah.
Still her money though.
She had the money.
Still
she had
that money
though.
though.
So what happens is that so you're born down south. Your mom's got money. That's cool. What happens? The money is spent poorly. So Robbo Cobb had 6 younger siblings, and they're not important at all.
Yeah.
What is important is that when the family money started to dry up, the family moved to Alabama in search of prosperity.
That's what you do.
Well,
Really?
with no such luck.
Go Alabama, my son.
Right?
Alabama.
No offense to Alabama, but that's not really like target
All the
prosperity.
offense
There
to
ain't
Alabama.
shit here.
Sorry, not sorry.
I think the only person who got prosperity in Alabama was Bubba from Forrest Gump, because he went into the best industry ever, shrimp.
Yeah, and I think
He
that
didn't come back from Vietnam. What are you talking
He
about?
did not make it back from Vietnam.
Forrest prospered.
Why this
Well,
happened for us?
The spirit of Bubba was the only reason
okay.
why Forrest prospered.
wait,
I have seen
is,
a Bubba shrimp.
is Forrest named after your Cretan fella?
I
Yeah.
was going to make the joke during the massacre.
As a reminder that sometimes
There
people
was a
believe
joke I was
things
going to
that
make
just
during the
don't
massacre
make
of
sense.
Gun Forrest Gun, but it seemed in bad taste as minorities were
Yeah.
being slaughtered.
I'm going to
So
be
I let
honest,
it
Cody. I'm
alone,
glad you didn't.
But thank
do
you for
that one.
reopening that can of worms.
I just want to ask because, it's about the South. Here we are. We're in Alabama, okay? So
South.
Alabama, as you could imagine, doesn't go
Yes.
well for the family, for the Cobb Kennedys, okay? So they pack up their bags and they head to Louisiana to find actual prosperity.
That sounds better.
in the form of 3,000 acres and a few dozen slaves to help out around the house.
Never mind.
Just a few dozen.
Now, some years of help, excuse me. Some years of the help had put this family in a situation where you would consider them loaded. Okay, so
Yeah.
they went from it's not working out well to we have a lot of slaves and we are selling this. I think I don't know what they're selling, to be honest with you. I missed that. But
So Louisiana is number one export. Does anyone want to guess?
is it tobacco?
Cotton,
Racism?
Nope.
Shrimp.
Anyone?
moonshine,
Nope.
Ooh.
Sugar.
Sugar.
Oh.
Okay.
Sugar.
That's one of, yeah, okay.
So much
All right.
sugar. Brown sugar.
So-
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. No, it was brown.
So
Wait,
based
Tom.
on that, it's likely that this sweet ass family was selling sugar.
ass
Tom, Tom, you're just saying they became Kennedys.
Is that what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
You don't need to say they
Okay,
became
Avery?
rich. They just became Kennedys.
Right, exactly. The father's name lived
Yes,
up.
redundant.
John F. Kennedy.
Now,
They're always looking for some sugar, baby. Anyway.
so they were able to sling enough sugar to start taking quarterly trips to Disneyland to celebrate their family business.
Right.
Now we can assume that RoboCobb had the finest tutors in Louisiana. At age 18, he shot himself up to West Point, where his donkey brain took full effect, and he
Wow.
was able to achieve absolutely nothing.
Oh,
Dude,
Yeah,
well,
congratulations.
can I add like a weird thing that I kind of want your opinion on, Avery, or just like your
Sure.
take on? Is what I think is so weird about the Civil War, because I started to do a little bit of research on Grant and like a few other guys, Robert E. Lee.
Your
It's-
uncle.
It was almost like they all went to West Point, all these generals, and then they just
Yes.
had like a post-college like scuffle. It's so weird. They all were like friends at West Point.
Colleagues.
So
Oiled up and then scuffled.
Yeah.
So they all went to West Point, and then they all had military experience in the same war before the Civil War, and that was the Mexican-American War.
Yeah.
And a lot of them who were in the classes of, say, 1836 to 1846, like those 10 years, you're seeing a lot of these guys going down to Mexico and either getting frontline, like, hard combat experience, or they're getting, like, hey, I'm a logistics officer. Hey, I'm an engineer. Hey, I'm a signal officer,
Yeah.
And it's just interesting because they're all buddy.
Yeah.
And then we get to the 1850s and, the question of slavery. This is part of that lost cause narrative. It just tears these friends apart. But it's interesting because these guys definitely take sides. Grant is interesting because he married into a slave owning family, the Dents out of St. Louis. And the whole thing about that was like, yeah, my wife's dad is a slave owner. He sucks, but I don't like slavery that much. So I'm gonna fucking say defy this guy, and we're gonna go up to Galena, Illinois, where my dad owns a leather shop, and we're gonna sell leather instead of own slaves.
I mean, I think Avery's fucking cheating. He's got a Wikipedia page open.
That's his brain.
No. It's just my brain. Here, I'm gonna pull him down for everyone to see. So this is Ulysses.
Oh, you got Grant right there.
He's got a fucking portrait.
So,
he's got a framed portrait.
This is my guy, and I always
is that autographed?
No, I wish. I gotta time travel. You guys are welcome to come with me when I figure out the math.
Yeah.
I gotta figure out the math, but if Avengers has taught me anything, is it's possible.
Yeah, we'll put you in whiteface or something.
Oh my god! Oh, or I just will adone a personality.
I want him safe. He's a good fucking guest.
Just bring a gun.
Let me just say this.
Have you seen the guns we have today versus what they have there? Just bring a gun. You'll be fine.
Yeah, like an AR-15 could rule the world. Back
give me an AA-12.
Right.
Shot.
I mean, but these.
He's a great guy. He's also a drunk.
Yeah, well, actually,
that's not mutually exclusive.
That's not true.
Look at this podcast.
Not true. So the only thing I'll say about Grant's drunkenness is that he drank before the war when he was stationed in California in the ass end of nowhere, and he missed the birth of his second son. He was super sad and did what I did after I got dumped by my whore of an ex, which was drink a lot. So, you're gonna definitely have, emotions to sift through when you're stuck on the fucking west coast of California in the 1850s. But that never followed him into the Civil War. He never was drunk during a battle. He was never drunk during a campaign. It's really just kind of that lost cause that narrative, which it did spill into the Union side of it, was Grant never defeated Robert E. Lee. He was just a drunk, a butcher who had more men and just threw it at Lee. That's just not the case at all.
These are people who are saying that he couldn't have accomplished anything because he was drinking, but still think that the song Stormtroopin' by Ted Nugent, which was definitely written while drinking.
I like that song.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, well, maybe drinking's not the problem if that's where you're going with this. Anyway.
Yep.
Yeah, tell us more about Bobby Kennedy.
Thank you for that history. I appreciate that. And so we'll get back into Cobb here. So
Cobb.
This guy, he's pretty stoops in his brain. He's what you would call clogged. Now, I believe this man was born too early. Now, if he was alive in today's times, he would excel in wiping people's windshields for tips. That's the kind of guy. But they didn't have windshields back then.
You wipe my horse, please.
Now,
horse eyelids.
Yeah.
RoboCop was expelled for heavy drinking and headed back to Louisiana to fight his dad. Now, why would you fight your dad? Because of traditional Southern values.
A Sith Lord.
Daddy, stop banging my old mommy. I'm going to fuck you up.
You wake up in the morning. Yeah. You take a swig, and then you take a swing at Pops. That's what it is.
Swig and Swing. Ooh, that's a good podcast name. Swig and Swing.
Listen, I'm moving down to Georgia.
It's not a bed and breakfast. It's a swig and swing.
I got a swig and a swing.
I'm gonna leather myself up and get a son.
You mean lather?
Your son's gonna be spitting to bed.
No. I'm just not.
You actually leather.
No, I'm just not. I'm just not going to wear sunscreen ever.
All right, that's fair.
And I'll just be outside all the time. And
you're just gonna wait inside all the leather.
I'm gonna wait. Once my son is 8, I'm gonna be like, "That's your bottle of liquor. You can get it as soon as you can reach that shelf, son." And then he's tall. He'll have my genetics. So by the time he's 13, he'll be swinging at me, and I'll be
at least make it like good bourbon. I mean, at least make it fulfilling.
You teen angst time. You always say he's like 13. He's pissed off all the time.
Listen, all I'm saying, I'm just saying, don't question tradition, okay?
You beat your kids. Right. Punch your kid in the face once in a while.
That's what you got to do. Now, when the Civil War started, Cobb joined up with the 1st Louisiana Regulars, which is...
Regulars.
The Regulars.
We're the Regulars.
I don't know why you would name yourself that as any kind of troop.
Well, the Expendables were taken already.
The whole term Regulars comes from the U.S. Army. There is the U.S. Army Regular Brigade or Division, and it was all like the professional career Army soldiers. It's very interesting that someone from Louisiana would name themselves regulars because they're all fucking volunteers. It's all militia.
Yeah,
they're not regular anything.
Right, exactly. I had heard that term before, and I go, I'm pretty sure this comes with like extensive training and time.
Yeah.
And these people are literally just drunk and going,
they're just militia.
I came out of West Point because I did it wrong, and now I'm going to do it right. That shit's up north.
In the Revolution,
I hate New York.
In the Revolution, we fought British regulars because they were fucking soldiers, and we were just men that had
farmers and fucking like tavern owners, man.
Yeah, I like that tactical shirt,
navy shirts. All right,
I'll play paintball. I know.
Now, RoboCop showed these Union pricks who was who by getting injured immediately during the bloody Battle of Shiloh in Harding, Tennessee.
Shiloh LaBeouf.
We mentioned this before.
Shiloh LaBeouf fucks up a lot of Confederates. I'm just saying.
Yeah. So it was a big deal. It was touched on before. Like I said, super bloody battle. Many Band-Aids used.
What happened to him exactly? I forgot. You said it?
Well, he got injured immediately.
Did you tell it what happened?
He got rocked.
Well,
he got rocked. Like, he was his first major battle. He gets rocked at the Battle of Shiloh between August 6th and 7th. It's gnarly.
Yeah.
It's like it's all the casualties from Shiloh accumulate all of the previous war's casualties combined from the Revolution and the Mexican-American War in 2 days.
Wow.
For American Americans killed, captured, wounded, or missing, and we're including Confederates. Instead of labeling them belligerents, which we really should be doing. But all the previous wars combined, you have in 2 days at Shiloh with about 22,000 casualties.
It's bad KD.
Damn, dude.
Bad KDR.
All right, maybe you can clear something up. I have a question, too. So, Shiloh, is that technically a Union victory?
It is absolutely a Union victory.
Right.
So the Union, they were attacked there by the Confederates. The Confederates failed to push them into the Tennessee River, and Ulysses S. Grant, with reinforcements, will drive them from the field on August 7th on the second day of the battle. So it is out and out a Union victory, but it's just the bloodiest battle yet at that point.
Right.
And there's going to be 6 more battles after that are way bloodier in terms of casualties. I can do that later in terms of the countdown.
So let me ask you something. In reading about it, the Union apparently had more casualties, even though it was a V. And that has to do more with like the ground kept, per se.
Location.
Right?
It hasn't. Yeah, you can win a battle if you lose pretty much your whole army and still drive the enemy from the field. Like the casualty losses have nothing to do with who wins or loses. It's really
location.
Just comes down to
who
stands tall on the field at the end of the day.
Mike, as I said during my Forrest episode, like he did that little trickery to win, force a surrender from a
shady,
you know what I mean,
fuckface.
Anyway. A force greater than
Avery, please sit down. Mike plays CS:GO, so he's really the expert here.
He knows.
I have a high IQ when it comes to tactical shooters.
Yeah. Look, Mike,
full's that
tell
diaper,
me, man.
Mike?
Tell me, man.
I got smokes. I got flashes. I got strats.
If you got flashbangs, we're good to go, man. You got plates.
Banana.
Let's
Mike,
go.
You can't
always
win
flash
without using
banana.
utility. You can't use it. Oh yeah, banana.
Fucking shoot in, Lynn. Let's go.
Rush B, comrades. Let's
That's
go.
another way to sleep well at night.
Yeah.
Now, RoboCop. Now he gets all fucked up. I'm gonna chalk this up to him stubbing his toe. So he ends up.
That's painful.
He walks with a limp for the rest of his life, and everyone laughed at him for how stupid he was.
Well, that's maybe why he's so angry all the time.
I don't know.
People are making fun of his toe.
I like laying it on thick. You know me, Mike.
I know.
Anyway, he's still like 100% into Confederacy game, and he's like, "Let me help." So he becomes the assistant to former classmate General Joseph Wheeler. Now, he's out there. He's chilling. He's doing his thing. He's assisting. Now, one day during it was a hard day of assisting, from what I understand.
Hard day.
He was captured by some Union gentlemen and taken to Johnson's Island in Sandusky, Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys know anything about Johnson, you don't want to be on his island,
dude.
Yeah,
he's got good sausage, man. I'll tell you.
Ohio had
it's the same Johnson.
It's the same Johnson. Johnsonville. I guarantee it was all the brats, man.
But I'm
Little
saying
St. Johnson.
Well, no, this is Johnson, Sandusky, Ohio.
Johnson.
If you're going to be imprisoned anywhere, it's Sandusky, Ohio. They have fucking Cedar Park.
For it's Cedar Point, Travis.
Cedar Point.
Come on.
Yeah. Dude, this guy's having a great time. He's doing
can't visit it,
doing
you're in
Millennium
jail.
Force. He's doing fucking all these rides.
Look, Elmira, New York's the worst Confederate POW camp for the Union. Like you don't want to be a Confederate prisoner of war in Elmira because we're here in New York where it snows a lot, and you Southern assholes who don't get a lot of snow meet snow, and that's literally every winter for the war.
Yeah.
Well, that was the other war criminal that I forgot. His name is Wirtz or something. He was a Union boy, I think, and he was in charge of a camp, I believe.
Andersonville?
Yeah, it might have been Andersonville.
Because he's the only one that gets, convicted, tried, hanged in front of everybody, and besides Champ. Yeah, I'm trying to remember his first name, but yeah, the guy who runs Andersonville will be convicted and hung for his treatment of Union POWs at Andersonville.
Huh.
It's not a good time.
Dude, POWs in Civil War is not good. You should go to Sandusky, Cedar Point. Have fun.
Confederates would say that Johnson's Island sucked, but fuck Confederates. So,
Well, here's the thing. I don't know how much it sucked. In fact, I don't think it sucked that much at all. You see, this guy had a limp, and he was able to get out. He made a ladder.
Out of what? Bones?
That's some solid snake shit. You made a ladder and
that's
got
some
out.
MacGyver shit, man.
I just want to, the idea of going to Johnson's Island. Oh, God. Sandusky. I mean, Sandusky is really, 2012 came around. Sandusky built a whole different thing. So you guys stay away from these people.
Oh, my God.
Now, like I said.
It's because I'm from Pennsylvania, isn't it, Tom? Is that why you had to... No, I'm just kidding.
Well, that's what I'm just saying. You got to stay away from Sandusky's Johnson. Or Johnson Sandusky.
Yeah,
it goes both ways.
I like it.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. That's terrible. Oh, no.
Right, so anyway, hold on one second. He breaks up this bed or something and makes a makeshift ladder and escapes Johnson's Island. Now, presented with one option, which is to run back to Louisiana, which could take like a month, or head north for a day and make it to Canada, Cobb headed north. He was like, I'm going there. There was lots of Confederates in Canada.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Dude, I'd go to Canada for some poutine right now. That shit's delicious.
It's delicious.
Anyway.
There's many good people in Canada, but also at the time, it was a little touch and go.
Do you think that the Confederates that went up there got fucked up by the freed slaves that also went up there on the Underground Railroad?
There's no evidence, but I want to imagine in my head that they were like, hey, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Funny time. You called me that racial slur.
How you doing? I love Ontario. This dude's like, motherfucker.
Bonsoir.
Yeah. I'm imagining like a Samuel L. Jackson looking escaped slave just being like, yo, motherfucker. I mean, and just like stomping him like, oh. Great.
I welcome this idea. I mean, I don't know. I wasn't there, but I would like to assume that maybe people were keeping track of who was coming across the border. Also,
I like the way you see
Border Patrol since 1862.
Something you absolutely need to keep in mind with this is that, like, it's not like the Union was filled with all these people who loved black people. It wasn't white people who were like, absolutely. We all love black people up here. And like,
you're correct, Tom.
There was plenty of racist people up here. Like this,
Irish Americans detested black folk in New York and Boston, and still do to this day. I can't go to South Boston without fucking fearing for my life. Anyway, continue, Tom.
Jeez, well,
fucking Mark Wahlberg. God damn it!
Yeah,
dude, Mark Wahlberg's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
But did he say something?
When was he alive
He
during?
stabbed someone in the eye with like a pencil when he was younger, and like. Asian
person. Fucked up a Philippine guy. Yep, he fucked up a Filipino.
Like super, very, a lot of hate crimes in his younger years.
Yep. Yeah. Fuck Mark Wahlberg and his brother Donnie, even though he was in fucking Banter, which I love.
Well,
anyway, continue, Tom.
No, that's fine. I'm learning more because I was just coming off
the Wahlberg family.
Make sure if you're at home and you live in Uniondale. That it wasn't all gravy there too.
I was watching a New Kids on the Block.
I'm in Unionsburgs, all the burgs. Anyway.
Now, so he runs up north and he met with this guy named Jacob Thompson, who was ex-secretary of Interior, and he at the time was the current chief of the Confederate Secret Service. Huh? What?
That existed?
Ooh,
yeah,
of course
that did exist.
Who's good? Let me ask you something. Who is going to save the secrets of the South? Who is going to save
They're
the recipes.
so
Illuminati.
loose-lipped.
Who is going to make sure that these recipes don't go all willy-nilly?
Deep
You
state.
need a secret service.
Deep state.
Yeah, the squirrel kebab recipe.
Yeah. How are we going to protect this? Anyway,
Squirrel kebab recipe.
Kebabs.
Thompson made a terrible mistake of recruiting this RoboCop bum as a spy. So he's like, you also don't like just below where we are. Why don't you work for me? I'm a spy, by the way. I'm assuming this is how this happened in some Canadian
absolutely.
tavern.
Good eye. Oh, wait, wrong accent.
I'll have one Labatt Blue. And please, hey, I noticed your accent.
It was a Molson. How dare you?
Yeah.
Yeah, not a Molson XXX.
Right.
Yeah, how dare you?
We drink Molsons and talk about how much we hate Abraham Lincoln.
Hockey.
I hate
You seen
Abraham,
that
but I
guy?
love
He's too fucking
poutine.
tall. I don't trust fucking tall people.
I love
Fucking
this club.
that Abe Lincoln's a fucking Snipe Sally's boy.
What's in the hat, bastard? Tell
Yeah,
us.
it was just Ricky from Trailer Park Boys.
I could totally
Fucking
see
Corey
that. That
Trevor
all
Smokes.
makes sense
Yeah.
now how they got there.
Right.
They're all descendants of
Hey, dude, you kind of
rednecks.
seems like spies. You want to come be on my spies team?
Yeah, I'm gonna be
I'd
some
do it.
spice. Fucking
Actually, I
do
wouldn't
some
do it.
spy
Totally
shit, man. This is
spies.
gonna be great.
Okay. Let me continue
Anyway.
here, guys. We have some to go. Now, Cobb joined a group of 15 Confederate spies who thought it would be a great idea to burn down some of New York City. Now,
I mean,
I sympathize.
what part are they burning down? It depends.
Uh-oh,
so
Cody.
let me tell you.
Uh-oh.
Let me tell you something. I couldn't help but think to myself that I need to explain New York City in 1864.
Yeah.
It's just Manhattan.
Now, the year before, in 1863, we saw massive riots protesting the Lincoln drafts. Now, Lincoln kept recruiting people to fight the war against the South. And the feeling in New York was that Lincoln's got to finish this up a lot quicker or just let the South go. They're
That
like,
was-
we don't really care that much, to be honest.
That was
with you,
in-
Because all the freaking people in New York City at the time were Irish immigrants who were making up almost 30% of the Union armies, and they were just fed up with having to get their citizenship by going to fight in the Union armies. And the Democratic politicians who were against Lincoln at Tammany Hall, that's all Boss Tweed and those fat motherfuckers. They were like, hey, guess whose fault it is? It's these black folk who you're competing with jobs for. So during those draft riots, blacks were targeted significantly for that purpose. And that's New York City sucks during
That's
this.
where you
Well,
get
that
Black
was-
Irish from.
1863 saw all kinds of lynchings and terrible things happening to the black folk over there.
Yeah.
It
The
was
60s were never good.
what's that?
Doesn't matter the
Blasio was-
century.
No matter what century you're in, dude.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
60s suck.
Yeah, look,
Well, that
Bill
was
de
the end of-
Blasio is still making up for it now. He's not doing a good job, but you can
Yeah.
see the guilt.
He's waiting another 40 years, but he's making up for it now.
He's trying to.
Dude,
Terrible things
2060s
had
are
to happen.
gonna suck.
That was the end of Gangs of New York. I mean, fucking where they fucking they shot at the fucking downtown Manhattan.
So they did send troops in, but they never shelled the streets of New York. That is inaccurate. But anyway.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, they
Look at this
touched that
party
button.
Sorry, Buzz Killington here.
You're a party pooper.
I'm a pooper party.
Well,
No, I'm glad you were there. I thought they did. I saw Leonardo DiCaprio jumping.
No, they did shoot. They don't get me wrong. They shot plenty of people. They killed plenty of people, but they never
didn't kill.
shelled the city.
well, either way,
They
New York
should've.
at the time was filled with terrible people who had nothing but their selfish people.
Those goddamn
They were
Irish
like,
people.
"We're done with your war, Lincoln. You stupid idiot." Because honestly, the whole thing was a mess. It's like the bloodiest
Yeah.
war people had ever seen. They're like, "Holy crap!" Like, we were just reading about the
Where does
Revolution.
it end?
Yeah. So look,
Yeah.
I understand that people emotions were high. So to me, the way I see this with my critical eye on these group of Canadian Confederates that are coming down and going, let's do New York City one. It's like, why? The place is already a dumpster fire. If anything, you're going to get people there to be mad at the Confederacy. They're already mad at the Union. So why
It's
not
an
just
urchin molasses.
skirt around it and go home?
They didn't think
This
about
is
shit
not
like
where
that
the
back
action
then.
is happening.
No.
It's like the few people who were into fighting this cause at the time, it would have further ignited that. So it's
Yeah,
all dumb.
same mistake with 9/11.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
Oh,
You can't.
is that all?
They
Well,
should have gone to
Travis.
Texas.
No,
If they had iPhones, it'd be different.
Well, after all, New Yorkers never forget.
They're
So,
forgetting.
no.
Once you attack,
They really don't. God
Once you
damn
get in here, they will not forget. They will.
They're
They will put it all over their cars. And
Yeah.
Oh, damn it.
Maybe
Anyway.
a tattoo here or there.
I never forgetty.
speaking of Mark Wahlberg,
Never forget the spaghetti.
he didn't even need to claim to in an alternative universe need to be here because this terrorist attack went so south very quick. Now Mark Wahlberg claiming out the other, if I was on one of those flights, would have been a little different. It's like, well, that's pretty bold, Mark.
Huh? You would have just been confused.
Yeah, exactly. But like, well, I was here to
wrong
save
here?
something, but it seems fine.
Wait, is
What's going on? What the hell's going on?
Is that the one where he tries to fight the wind in Pennsylvania?
That was
Good Will
a
Hunting.
I had a
Happening.
girlfriend.
What are you talking about?
I had a
Happening?
girlfriend take me to that movie.
Huh?
What?
What?
You actually went there?
What? Huh?
I had
Huh,
a
Mark? What?
I had
What are
a
you talking
girlfriend, and she was like, "I want to see The Happening. Would you
Oh.
go with me?"
Oh, what
Tom?"
a
I
shit
think of
movie.
Gilbert Grape for some reason.
He wasn't in
different
it.
movie. Different Leonardo
It's
DiCaprio movie.
basically the
I was
same
talking
movie.
about Mark.
I know. I
Wahlberg.
got him confused for a second.
Oh, my God.
Dad's dead, Gilbert.
Anyway, Boston Man.
Oh, mommy's hiding from Marnie.
Bad movie. Okay, let me get back into this. October 27,
Sorry.
1864. These 16 men, one of which was RoboCobb, they headed down from Canada with some sweet disguises and checked into
Poutine.
some various hotels all over New York City. The plan is, on Election Day, to use Greek fire to start fires all over and overwhelm the fire departments and cause a panic. Now, Greek fire, does anyone know what Greek fire is?
Tzatziki sauce
Dragons.
and fire.
Well, I thought the recipe was lost to history.
Yeah, the recipe was
Imagine
lost to
Dragons.
history, Cody. It's not
Well-
Imagine Dragons. Sorry, Mike.
Gotta imagine those dragons.
Damn it.
God damn it!
Now, Greek fire is a chemical mixture
Right?
that sets on fire when exposed to oxygen.
Telling you
Invented
imagine-
it-
Fucking
this-
Game of Thrones bullshit. What the hell?
Yeah, it's very spewy. I think it's a good adjective.
Well, I
I
think when you ignited it properly, you could do it on water. And it was invented in the 1600s. I mean, not the 1600s, the 600s.
Black
Like-
Bay.
You got this? Do you have this name? Calicinus of Heliopolis.
Damn, what a name.
Greek as hell. This
Yeah,
guy was like,
well, the
I
big-
love my country and I love to cook a lamb.
The
Greek
big-
fire.
The big thing is they
Dude.
don't know the original recipe of what Cody was saying. They don't know the original recipe of Greek fire. Like how these motherfuckers
Yeah.
come up with this shit.
Trial
And
and
they came
error.
up with fucking other things.
I
Is
feel like
anyone else just imagining like the green fire from Game of Thrones? Because I am.
Yeah.
Like really hard.
I don't
Just
know.
like they're just gonna
does
like
olive
light
oil
shit
burn
up
green?
on the fire. If you're Greek, maybe.
Only if you're Greek.
Only if you're Greek.
Yeah.
It green's
honestly,
so.
it burns blue and white, brother.
yeah.
Brothers.
Right now, they were trying to set shit up. I don't know. So anyway, they got their hands on this stuff. It's got like phosphorus in it. It's mostly phosphorus.
I'll
So it
believe
smells
that.
like crap.
Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
good at all smelling. So for a
No.
few days before the attack, just a few days before they planned it, like I said, it was on election day. So early November 1864. Just before then, a group in Chicago with similar intentions were caught by the Union. So the guys decided to lay low for a few weeks and push back their attack.
Pussies.
Now, during this time, the 16 men, they went to the M&M store and went to saw Wicked twice.
Marshall Mathers. I'm
What?
sorry.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
They
That's what I
saw
was thinking,
Wicked
too.
twice? Hell yeah.
Well, they had to see it twice. I mean,
Did they see kinky boots?
that's a good question. Not everything has been documented properly.
Fair enough.
Several journals.
The documentation is spotchy at best.
Yeah. So I'm working with what I got.
Fake
guys.
news. Tom spreading misinformation.
No,
Mike,
no, fuck
Please.
you, Mike.
please, Mike.
Turn off the podcast and fake news.
You didn't know we were doing this tonight. You didn't research
You guys didn't tell
anything,
me.
I told you
cocksucker.
everything.
I was gonna do what's his name, and then I was like, it's
What is his
fruit.
name, cocksucker?
What
I was gonna do
Copernicus,
And
McLarnicus?
like Robert E. Lee.
Yeah,
or
Robert E.
something.
Lee.
Robert E.
Robert-
Lee. Yeah.
Dude, Confederates, name me one.
I
Yeah.
gotta think of a bad
Mary
person.
Lee.
Mike, name
Benedict Arnold.
Mike, name one other person in the Civil War besides Robert E. Lee right now.
Ulysses S. Grant.
All right, not that one because we talked about
yeah.
it.
Should have said
Oh,
Confederate.
I'm pulling out of my ass right now.
Confederates, name
do
me
it.
one.
I'll be impressed.
Jimmy Dean won't count.
Jimmy Dean.
No, won't count.
Yeah, no.
He didn't just make
George
breakfast for the
Washington
whole-
Carver. Is that a little bit?
No, he
before?
made
That's a black guy,
That's
first of all.
Absolutely not.
So,
1870s. I'm thinking. I think. I had a history class in college. A lot of shit. I totally forgot who this fuck's name was.
Well, it's fine.
Hey, Mike,
It's not important.
say
It was a
Jeb
long time
Stewart.
ago.
Just say
No,
Jeb
let's get
Stewart.
back on.
Just say Jeb Stewart.
Let's talk about RoboCop.
RoboCop. Let's go.
Yeah.
RoboCop.
Now, in late November, the Confederate spies were given the signal by themselves, probably, to unleash the fury of Greek fire. As it turns out, Greek fire does not come with instructions and is not nearly as intuitive as they thought. So the fires they created, not very good. Not good at all.
Someone put this shit out. It's just,
Travis,
What
you
they
seem
did, what they
beside
did.
yourself
I
with
believe-
that comment.
Yeah.
Now, the way it worked is that they wore disguises, and then each guy would check into like multiple hotels so they can plant their Greek fire in the hotels and then move from hotel to hotel. So they're trying to burn down the whole city. I'm going to tell you how this panned out.
Motherfuckers, man. I'll tell you what.
Tell you what.
They would start fires in their fancy hotel rooms, some of which were put out by hotel staff or visitors, as it's not.
That's awesome, right?
Oh my God.
concierge.
Great service.
Yeah.
That's
Down
great
south,
customer
motherfuckers.
service.
God damn it.
Hey, do you have like a napkin I could put this out with?
Yeah,
Like,
I'm picturing like a Manuel from Faulty Towers, like, oh no, we must need to put out the fire. We must need to put out the fire, Mr. Faulty,
Travis's
Mr. Faulty.
face.
now, most of the fires were never even discovered. They just were set in the hotel rooms and then went
Went
out
out.
as soon as the guys closed the door.
Dude, that is some fucking James Bond shit, dude.
Dude,
Right?
I hope it's still burning
Right,
behind
though?
me as I close the door.
Yeah, it's like, I hope so. I hope they did it. They actually found extra bottles of the Greek fire just laying around. Like some of the master spies got
Really?
scared and they ran away.
Because that's lost
They
to
didn't want to
history.
double down.
They have cameras.
They
Well,
found
this Mission
something-
Impossible episode would have been great. Just
Yeah, they
saying.
found something
God.
worthy of museum.
Well, speaking of museums, as RoboCop,
Ty Cobb.
look, we got
I
one.
almost said Ty Cobb. I'm glad I wasn't the only one thinking that. Anyway,
We
continue.
already
Ty
did that
Cobb,
episode.
Are they somehow related?
He's not at all related
Ty
to Ty
Cobb's
Cobb.
kind of a scumbag.
He's
Well, he
related to
wasn't that
Bobby
bad.
Kennedy,
Who's
dude.
that?
He was played by Tommy Lee Jones in that
That was
movie.
a good movie.
Good movie. There's only one record of the fire that he caused. Now, apparently, he had went to a couple of hotels. He was a drunk, as I mentioned before. He was drinking. He was fighting his dad all day, all night.
Mm-hmm.
So the one fire we know that he caused, it definitely stirred up the most panic in the entire display of incompetence. The hammered Cobb was running from one hotel to another, and he finds himself on the corner of Broadway and Ann Street in Lower Manhattan. He looks up, and there's the famed P.T. Barnum Museum, and says to himself, I'm going to fuck me a Fiji mermaid.
That's just a monkey, isn't it?
Now, this is a quote. Well, it's a quote. I don't know.
Fiji
Those
mermaid
exact
and monkey.
words?
Fiji monkey's a mermaid sewn to like a fish ass.
Now,
Oh, damn.
Ew.
Cody, don't do that.
I like
Okay,
that.
it's a history show. It's not science.
Yeah.
Science.
Now,
Damn it.
I'm going to tell you this. Go listen to Roast Mortem episode 28. Understand more
Good.
about the world and specifically PT, the cruise in Barnum.
It's a great episode.
I was probably way less angry then.
Tom was a brighter boy.
I was probably brighter. I had more brain
Brighter,
cells, more
brighter.
hope, and almost none of it left. So he tosses a bottle of Greek fire into one of the main staircases in the museum. Oh, no, everyone says. They all go, no, we're looking at things.
Oh,
So women start
Ah.
screaming about freeing the animals. Get the animals out of here. Of course, they have children with them, but
What?
we know women.
There's animals in the museum?
Oh, absolutely. So P.T. Barnum's museum, it was 3/4 zoo.
Tom, can I finish the story here? So the world's most stretchable man stretched his stomach out and stretched it over the fire that he threw and put it out.
smothering it.
Yeah,
That would be
smothered
cool. So
like a grape.
on the shore,
Oh.
like what happened is that he takes his Greek fire and he throws it and it makes a spectacle because it's on this staircase that's right like in the main
Big
area.
area.
So everyone's going, oh no, this is bad. But the fire goes out like kind of on its own because it's everything's finished. There's like
It's Greek.
Yeah,
It's Greek.
yeah.
so half the job done cheap.
Mm.
Now,
gyros.
P.T. Barnum writes to New York Times, and he goes, here's an open letter about the catastrophe. Okay, guys. I don't have it right in front of me. Well, what I do know is that in it, he mentions how the buffoon who caused the fire caused almost no damage. So don't worry. Come on by.
Okay.
The stairs are still fine. In fact, come on by and check out the damage he caused. So P.T. Barnum was actually able to bring in people.
Off
More
this guy's
customers.
stunt.
Off this
Capitalism.
stupid stunt. Yeah. Funny enough, within a year, the museum did actually burn down, and lots of animals were toasted alive. There was a whale soup ready to go.
No. Well, okay.
But it has
Is it a
nothing
soup served hot,
Here's
though?
the thing. Here's the thing that New Yorkers hate to hear. It has nothing to do with a racist. It just happened.
Damn it.
Faulty wiring. Probably by
What's
Hey,
the
wiring back
point then?
right. You can't be angry anymore.
Why
It's
are
just
we
like,
talking about this if a racist
There's no
didn't do it?
racists involved. Why am I fucking hearing
Tom, they
about
probably
Right.
blamed it on the Irish.
Yeah.
Probably.
I think you could probably blame it on some kind of Irish union. It was it was electrical fire.
Yeah, Irish
probably.
can't trust Irish people.
New York Times
There's
reports.
not even electricity yet.
Yeah,
Let me.
New York
Let me
Times
ask you
reports
something.
it was the O'Malley brothers again. They were coming down with the cabbage and they spilled it all over the floor. And
Mick
no,
O'Malleys.
Yeah, let me ask
elephant
Mike.
started a
Yes.
match fire. No.
Mike, I got to ask you: would you trust any of our mutual uncles to wire your house?
No.
Yeah, they're insane.
Yeah,
No, it's because I know I'm part of the family, so I know that like
Right.
I know how it goes.
Right. You see
So
how.
I wouldn't be able to do it, so they wouldn't be able to do it.
Right. It's how
I
it
know
works.
I would just do a half-ass job.
If your dad was a lawyer, you'd be a lawyer.
You know what? He'd be a good
A
lawyer, but
lawyer.
he didn't do it.
He
Lawyer.
would be a great lawyer. That guy.
He was
Instead-
a janitor.
Said he's just a stand-up
A
comedian.
good janitor, though.
Great janitor.
Tom, what happened to RoboCob?
Sorry, guys. I went on a tangent with my cousin Mike here about Irish people. On this. All right. So, just ask me how he died. We'll
He
do
was
that.
How do you die, Tom? How do you die?
Okay. So, of the 16 spies involved in this heinous display of idiocy, Cobb was the only one caught.
Wow! What a dipshit. Anyway,
Now, he was put in
He's
Fort
super
Lafayette
Irish.
in Brooklyn, which is now high-end real estate.
That's a Supreme
Just
store.
kidding. I don't know, but we'd have to assume.
It is. That's all. Like,
you just
high
gotta
real
assume.
estate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was tried for conspiracy. The judge found Cobb guilty of the charges and sentenced to hang.
oh,
On March 25th,
Oh.
Fuck.
1865, Robbo Cobb, a.k.a. Robert Cobb Kennedy, was hung as the last Confederate soldier to be executed by the U.S. government.
hard as a rock.
oh, such a good year, 1865. Mm.
Yeah.
Good music that year.
Honestly, I had to think to myself, there probably was that talk where the Union people were like, maybe we should just stop, like these are, the war's over, but they're still our neighbors.
U.S. citizens again.
Well, I'm just
Anyway.
thinking maybe they made an exception for him. Maybe there was another guy who was the last before him, and they were like, nah. But-
In my
Let's do it again.
honest opinion, they didn't hang enough people. Not near enough.
Oh yeah,
Fair enough.
absolutely.
people at the
Fair
end
enough.
of the war. So
This
is me.
I'll trust your opinion. You know your stuff way better than us. I'm not a Civil War dude. I'm really not.
But you know
I
what?
appreciate.
You guys got it though. You guys have been nailing it. This is just fantastic.
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah.
Trying.
Well,
Like
Avery.
this is the squad that I want to roll with in Verdance because you guys know your shit, even though you've never played
Dance
the game.
squads.
Oh, I have dog. I have dog.
Don't worry
I'll see you
about
for
it.
dance.
I know. I'll see you in Verdance, dog.
No, but yeah, I mean, this guy seemed really dumb. I almost feel bad.
Yeah, he's
for
so
him.
stupid.
I almost feel bad for this guy.
why?
A
just wanted to
tiny
fit
bit.
in.
Why are you the only guy
Like,
that
he's
gets
just
caught
so
in the
dumb.
group?
Like it was just so stupid. Like I feel like this is like the kid that believes in professional wrestling and then gets his ass beat.
Wait, what are you saying?
What are you doing?
What was there not to believe? No, I gotta ask you
A
something,
lot.
Travis. Are you happy I researched this guy? I don't know why I said that. To be honest, with you. I don't know why I've been drinking. I don't know why I said I have to ask.
You don't need
I don't
Travis's
have to.
approval.
I'm just
Yeah.
no. I'm
You
just
need
glad-
Avery's.
I'm backing up. Avery, thank you for joining us
Yeah.
for this
Yes.
Thank you.
for this wonderful
This has been
episode
so much
and
fun.
educating us.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, man.
I do have somebody. I don't know if you guys want to keep going. I don't know what your time looks like. I did not prepare for this, but I have somebody who can qualify as a roaster for sure.
All right, so from the rafters, Avery comes in and he's bringing another man, brother. Another stupid ass rebel to fucking roast, brother.
You sprung this on us.
I did spring this one on you because I'm going to tell you guys right now, I did prepare for the Union side of things. I did not prepare for the Confederate.
Oh, fair enough.
So I wanted to talk about a guy by the name of John Brown Gordon.
Yeah.
He's born February 6th, 1832 in Upson County, Georgia. And he will eventually die January 9th, 1904. So he's going to make it to the 20th century. He's going to die at age 71 in Miami, Florida, of all fucking places.
Oh, yeah. Miami! He's probably going for a tummy tuck, and it didn't go too well.
Big surprise here. He is a Democrat. Now, the thing about John B. Gordon is that why is he important? So the reason I like shitting on him a lot is that after the war, he's going to become good friends with someone who we've already talked about this evening. And that guy, Cody knows very well, is Nathan Bedford Forrest. John B. Gordon will become the leader of the Georgia branch of the Ku Klux Klan. And John B. Gordon had a very devout service to the Confederate Army before the Civil War. And what I mean by that is these guys were planning this long in advance. Wow. But John B. Gordon gets a lot of recognition for being one of the fiercest fighters. He fights in every single battle of the American Civil War, from First Bull Run to Appomattox. So he is in the Eastern Theater. He's fighting in Virginia with the Army of Northern Virginia under Robert E. Lee for pretty much all of the war. At the Battle of Antietam. Yeah, John B. Gordon, of all people, at the Battle of Antietam, which is known as the single bloodiest day in American military history, you have 23,000 men on both sides killed, captured, wounded, or missing at the Battle of Antietam.
I think you hinted at it before. I don't count the fucking rebels.
That's very true. That's very true. So in this case, Travis, like at the Battle of Antietam in one day, the American army loses 12,000 men killed, captured, wounded, or missing. That's bad for one day.
That's still really bad.
That's still really rough. Like that's like, damn guys, like Jesus. Yeah. So John B. Gordon was defending a portion of the Confederate line at the center at Antietam, and it is a portion of the line known as the Sunken Road. If you ever get out to Antietam National Battlefield, you go to the Sunken Road, you can see where John B. Gordon's unit just littered the Sunken Road. Literally, the bodies were so thick that men could not touch bare ground.
Wow.
They just were walking on bodies. That's how thick it was in the Sunken Road. Damn. Now, before that happened, they had been laying out Union soldiers coming at them in open fields, but a guy by the name of Francis Barlow, who's going to rise to become a division commander in the Union's Second Corps during the American Civil War. His troops are going to get up on a high ground position, and they're going to start shooting down this sunken road on top of John B. Gordon's Georgians. And man, dude, do they get fucked up. John B. Gordon gets shot, I think once. First time he gets shot through the hand. Then he gets shot in the chest, and then he gets shot a third time through the face.
And he lives?
And he falls face down in the dirt, and the only reason he survives is because all the blood that was drowning him pouring out of his face, because his face was like in his kepi, in his hat. Mm-hmm. And basically there was a hole in his kepi. That's where all the blood drained out of. Oh, yeah, so it's super, super metal. And because of this one fucking hole in his hat, this little asshole didn't drown in his own blood. But John B. Gordon will go to fight in every major battle after this. So he's at the Battle of Fredericksburg. He's at the Battle of Chancellorsville. At the Battle of Gettysburg.
With a chest shot back then?
A chest shot and a face shot?
He lived with a chest shot. He lived with a face shot. He got shot in the face, Mike. He got shot in the face and he survived.
Yeah, so
back then it was crazy. Holy fuck.
So I know there was rifle units
pure
back
evil
then, right?
keeps them alive.
Avery, but the majority was still muskets, right?
So I'm sorry, I missed your question.
I said
what about muskets? And
there were rifle units back then, but the majority were still smoothbore.
So here's the thing about the muskets. So when you hear the word musket, you're going to probably think of smoothbore, revolutionary style muskets where you shoot at someone from like 10 yards away and you still might miss them because they're that inaccurate. Well, by the American, Rick and Morty moment. Anyway, by the American Civil War, your muskets are so rifled that the balls are spinning when they leave the barrel, which is like unheard of. And this was actually started during the Mexican-American War, and it's perfected during the Civil War. The rifling enables ammunition to fly closer and closer to the target that you're trying to hit.
Right.
And
so I own a Brown Bess, which is like it's like a patent 1812 Brown Bess. And that shit can't shoot straight for garbage.
Have you shot it?
Shoot.
Yep.
Yeah, Tom and I have shot it. But so here, are you still getting the same? Do you know if you're still getting the same blast exit you would with like a musket?
So most of the muskets being used are a Springfield 1852 model or a 1859 Richmond Enfield or something like that. Like, so Enfield, Springfield, these muskets, they're all rifled. They're all very, very accurate. You're definitely going to have more accuracy with these muskets. Now, people always ask me when I was a park ranger, okay, so with this rifling, how is anyone surviving if they're shooting at each other from point blank range? And what you have to remember is that when a musket shoots, it discharges this big blast of smoke. And the more you shoot, the more smoke you produce. So really visibility is limited on a battlefield, on a Civil War battlefield, by the amount of smoke you're discharging. So you could be about half a mile away from somebody or even 50 yards away from somebody and still not see them because of all the smoke discharging from the muskets, discharging from the cannons. It's wild. Now, of course, that's all out the window by the 20th century when we get to World War I, but in American Civil War, all that smoke just might save your life. Right. And what's interesting about John B. Gordon is that, like this man gets shot. He gets fucked up at Antietam without, sugarcoating it. He definitely gets fucked up, and he is just a real motherfucker about it for the rest of the war. So he's going to have a very distinguished service in the Army of Northern Virginia. He's going to lead one of the last Confederate offensives against the Union Army of the Potomac at the siege of Petersburg, or the Petersburg Campaign. He will attack a position known as Fort Stedman, and he will seize the fort but be unable to hold it, and then he's going to get his little ass spanked going back to the Confederate lines. And after that, Union will break through on April 2nd, 1865 at Petersburg, and they will drive them all the way to the Appomattox Courthouse, where they will inevitably surrender to Ulysses S. Grant's forces. Now, what's interesting is that John B. Gordon, when he surrenders to a guy that was played by Jeff Daniels in a Civil War movie that was on TV in the 90s. And, so he surrenders to Joshua Lawrence Chamberlain. And it's a really interesting time for the Army of the Potomac and the Army of Northern Virginia, because they've been rivals for so long. But, I mean, you guys have to understand the fighting that we see in 1864 and 1865 is some of the most brutal depictions of combat the U.S. military has ever seen. You have men fighting every single day. Every single day. I mean, combat constantly in and out. And many of these combat situations are very close quarter. They're going to have men beaming each other with their muskets, like with the butts of their muskets, just clubbing each other, shooting each other, stabbing each other.
Bayonets and shit.
There's one point where John B. Gordon is actually on the battlefield. He is at Spotsylvania Courthouse. It's during the Battle of what's called the Mule Shoe Salient. For 22 hours of sustained hand-to-hand combat, the Union and Confederate forces will go at it. You will see 17,000 casualties, 9,000 Union and 8,000 Confederate soldiers be killed, captured, wounded, or missing in about 200 yards of ground. So 2 football fields. 17,000 men killed, captured, wounded, or missing in a position that was just an angle in a series of entrenchments. And it is some of the most metal shit you will ever come across.
Even up until World War I, the U.S. Army was teaching bayonet hand-to-hand combat. And there's manuals. I mean, they taught it in World War II a little bit, but mainly in World War I is where it stopped, where you're learning how to use a spear. And if you think about some of these older weapons, right, like you get one shot, and then, if they're far enough away, you reload, you fucking crank that shit.
It's a whole process.
And but if they're close enough, all you have is a long stick with a spike at the end of it.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Effective though.
And like it's really effective. The thing about a bayonet, when it stabs you, it's a triangular blade. Triangular stab wounds do not heal.
Yeah.
They stay open.
And it's really hard for medics to
most
close
likely
them.
it's mortal. Yeah, it's very hard to close them. You're gonna probably get a lot of guys bleeding out from gut wounds or stab wounds or whatever in various places. But yeah, John B. Gordon is at the site of one of those bloody incidents at the Mule Shoe. So if you ever get down to Spotsylvania Courthouse Battlefield in Fredericksburg, Virginia, just know if you get to the Mule Shoe, that is the single bloodiest site on American soil in terms of one of the most metal examples of Civil War combat. I mean, literally men in pouring down rain, stabbing, clubbing, shooting each other in the face at point blank range for 22 sustained hours. So nonstop in pouring down rain in trenches that are flooding with rainwater, with blood, with mud. Men are getting smushed into the earth. Like, it is wild. John B. Gordon's there for that. And still's an asshole afterwards.
So wait,
still's going to survive the war.
Avery, you mentioned metal. I know there's quite a few, and I'm going to throw this back to Tom. There's quite a few metal bands. I mean, there's like, Dio?
Dio's time to go.
Not that Dio. There's one that's like a Roman battle band. There's like Viking metal bands. Is there any Civil War bands? There's a World War I band.
World War War band.
I have not come across a Civil War metal band yet. I hope to do it. I had this idea that we would have like a Civil War metal opera that like kind of just described the whole overland campaign between Ulysses S. Grant and Robert E. Lee.
Well, like Ghost?
It's just like metal for the whole fucking time. Like some fucking Metallica or some freaking Dio or
Limp Bizkit.
Jeez, I can keep going.
Limp Bizkit, yeah.
I don't know. I could see a band. There's got to be a power metal band that got
Dragon
really
Force.
into that.
I could definitely see them doing some shit like that.
Yeah, right?
Bands
Can you just picture, like, Holy Diver is literally the song that describes the whole Overland campaign. It's just the best fucking song in the world. And the point is that this whole war ends with John B. Gordon getting away scot-free. Because, Grant lets everybody go at Appomattox. He says, you know what, you are our brother in again. And funny thing is, Grant regrets that. He regrets that moment. He says, I shouldn't have been that lenient. These guys are assholes. They all went and joined Nathan Bedford Forrest's KKK bullshit. John B. Gordon gets on board with that, becomes not just a Georgia senator who is a Democrat and is very much against the enfranchisement of black voters after the war, but he does run the Georgia branch of the Ku Klux Klan. So Gordon is a piece of shit. I don't have a lot on him in the spur of the moment, but that's kind of like the whole epitome of it. He's a dickhead who deserves to be roasted. And once again, like Forrest, he's shot 6 times over the course of the war and does not die. Wow. So
what a penis bump.
Yeah.
I like how you said, like, this is all I know off the top of my head. Although you were on par with the prior 3 presentations.
Honestly, there are people who can probably do it a lot better than me. I'm like, like a basic. I'm a basic bitch. I have my stuff.
Look, it's roast mortem. You can say that about me, but you can't say that about yourself.
So I can't be a basic bitch, but you can be a basic bitch, Tom.
You go, someone else could speak better about Civil War guy better? No. Let's see if they can survive 6 shots or something. Say something hyper violent that you wouldn't actually do. It's fun.
Yeah, but that's the thing though. It's like these guys who go on to be like super evil motherfuckers just like survive multiple wounds during the war, and you're like, really? Nobody could headshot this guy? Like, what the fuck?
Well, Mike could in CS:GO.
Yeah, one tap him. They didn't have AKs back then,
right?
Yeah, one dig's hard.
Thump, 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 thump.
Yeah, you guys aim for the head.
Look,
one tap.
Like I said before, their racism keeps them alive. They can focus all the terrible things.
Really
just
does.
like Mike.
Yeah, it's Mike. I can't believe it. You're able to focus into video games. That's better.
You know why? Because I'm a loser.
Wow. What a great transition.
No. I disagree with any of you that think you guys are losers.
I'm
You guys
not.
are awesome.
I think these guys are champions.
Oh yeah, Cody's
They're all
like, I don't know what
champions
he's
in my
talking
eyes.
about. I've always been kind of a badass, so you know.
I'm a champ Ferguson.
You're very
I'm
champ
Ferguson.
goods, all
Yeah,
of you.
no, to Boss Ferguson, who fought for the Union.
Hugo Boss
Boss
Ferguson.
Ferguson.
All right.
Good old Boss Hog Ferguson. But yeah, that's all I got for John.
We're going to connect after we finish rolling about some sources, because what I'm reading is very lost causey.
No.
Yeah, you got to be careful with that. There's a lot of books and articles out there that will try to paint Confederates as victims, will try to paint Confederates as the unsung heroes of the war. People, they're the bad guys of the story. Whether you're North or South, they're the villains.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to say, not sorry. These guys are assholes. And they deserve no glorification. They deserve no fucking jerk-offness. They deserve absolutely no statues.
Yeah.
So, like, we can remember history, but, like, take it for what you will. These guys were shitheads, and they were not on the right side of history. So that's all I have to say on that. No, Jenny.
One more thing before we end, Avery, and I wanted to ask you this when I brought you on. What do you feel about, because, like, everyone's got to play the bad guy, right? So what do you feel about Confederate, like, reenactors?
Oh, interesting.
So I do have a lot of reenactor friends. They do Union, they do Confederate, they do Brits, they do French, they do Americans, they do pretty much any war you can shake a stick at that has rifles involved. So the thing about Confederate reenacting, if you want to play a Confederate in a reenactment, go right ahead. But don't get lost in it. Don't fucking get all like, yeah, I love fucking slavery and I hate black people. And, you know, because I've met Confederate.
If I had a nickel every time I heard that in that accent.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, like, the point is, like, I've met people who will go like that but they'll be like, oh, but it was just for the role. And I'm like, yeah, but read the fucking room, my guy.
You got
like,
tattooed
you gotta
with the stars and bars.
Like chill out, dude. Like, these guys are not somebody you need to glorify. That's the biggest thing.
Brother.
Don't glorify. Yeah, don't glorify the Confederacy.
That's not a Confederate tattoo. That's a Pantera tattoo, brother. Trust me, I don't like the Confederacy.
The point is that look, I've come across many reenactors, many of them are my friends, and I will at least acknowledge that when the camera stops rolling or the sun goes down, they're like themselves again or whatever.
Right.
But like the reenactors who go too fucking far, like I've met SS reenactors in World War II. And they are super into it to the point where they're like trying to like usher you away. And I'm like, you guys fucking prod me with your little MP40 again. I'm going to fucking shove it up your ass.
I kind of want to be real. Those can't be real at this point in history.
Jewish SS.
But they have been real though, Cody. Hard. That's the thing. These people get super into it and they like playing a role. And then they always use that as the defense that, oh, well, I was just reenacting. I wasn't serious about it. I'm like, okay, well, here's the thing, my guy. Like, it's one thing to do like a role play reenacting of a unit, but like to get so into it that you're proudly displaying a swastika in the United States.
I like how you refer to this gentleman as my guy. That's exactly what I would do too.
What are you doing, my guy? Seriously, like, what is the damage, my guy?
It's a play swastika. Come on. It's just fun stuff.
Yeah, I didn't mean anything by it. I was just fucking around. You're the one getting all super sensitive. I'm like, oh, I'm super sorry that the black guy is sensitive around a swastika, but, you know, no worries.
Right.
But
like
it's stuff.
Those guys with the swastikas that are like, yeah, it's Buddhist. You know,
so in a Japanese skate video.
So swastika is like the Hindu symbol for peace, and it's like, you know, they always like to hide behind it. But yeah, like if you're gonna role play somebody, if you're gonna reenact somebody, fucking read the room and don't go super into it. Just do it for like the purpose of like, yeah, this is what this asshole looked like. You know what? I would feel a lot better if reenactors were like, this guy sucked. This guy was a piece of shit, but I am dressed like him right now, so you can see what it looked like. And that's all.
Yeah, somebody's got to be
all we
Cobra
fucking
Corp.
need.
It's case.
Let's go to LARP.
Someone's got to be Cobra. Yeah, but the point is, don't get lost in it. Don't fucking be proud of it. And don't glorify it. Because if you glorify something like the Confederacy or the Third fucking Reich, God forbid.
I can't believe there's been 3 of them.
A neo-Nazi then when you're glorifying it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, Mike. Yeah, these fucking guys, and the thing is, some of them are fucking Nazis.
Yeah.
Like they're
down,
like, I've had death
agenda.
threats from reenactors before who be like, "Don't you dare come around our encampment." I'm like, "Don't worry, I won't." And anyway, like, it's just
What's
it's
your
ridiculous. You're right. I'm gonna send you to the FBI, but it's just this whole fucking thing with reenacting it. I think people sometimes cross the line, but. I think there are great ways to educate people about the past. And if you want to get dressed up and look like a Confederate soldier to educate people, for sure, but do it good. Do it the justice that it deserves. Don't fucking be a weirdo about it. Don't be like, yeah, my folks were the proud heroes of this war and we did nothing wrong. Because I've had that experience, and I'm telling you, those fucking people are not part of the solution. They are absolutely part of the problem.
They're unglued.
Yeah, it's not centered on any term of reality at all. Like it's just not promoting truth. It's promoting that lost cause narrative that we talked about at the beginning. It's definitely this. Oh well, we're good people on both sides and all this bullshit. And I'm like, you know what? Everybody.
Well, here's the one thing you gotta give. Here's the one thing you got to give the lost cause people. A lot of them have no idea otherwise.
Yeah,
like, truly,
and that's all they've been taught.
Truly,
that's all they've been taught. Like that, they will fucking fight you, even if you're like, oh, I have like 10 books that says you're wrong, and of those 10 books, 4 of them are fucking journals from the people that lived at the time saying, "Yo, bro, this is exactly what this is about."
Yeah,
right. And then they're still going to be like, "No, my one textbook that was written in 1965 says you're wrong, you damn libtard."
Well, on Facebook, it said y'all fucking gonna take us over, motherfuckers.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
My Facebook news tells me everything.
And it's just like ridiculous. So you just gotta fucking take it for a grain of salt. Like if you see reenactors out there and they seem to be too into being Confederates, then maybe be like, oh, how cute, fucking racist in the wild.
That's the best thing to call racists. Like, you're cute.
Oh,
they hate that shit.
So
they're like, well, I'm serious. I'm and then it's just stupid shit after that. But I it's whatever. I'm used to it by now, so maybe I'm just jaded on it.
You're a strong man, Avery.
I do what I can.
I've only seen a few reenactors in my life, and they've all been making a nail at some kind of forgery place where they're just like, "Hi, welcome to the town."
Welcome to my nail
that's a relatively peaceful thing. I don't think that there's.
Let me say this: there is a difference between living historians and reenactors. Living historians are people who will try to educate you based on fact, and they will be dressed in the garb of the time. But they're going to be like, "Let me tell you how shitty my life was," and you're going to learn something.
No, and then
I gotta ask you seriously though. You know the difference between this? Why do all these? What'd you call them? Excuse me. It was history.
Lost causes.
No, living historians. Living historians versus reenactors.
Right. No. I understand that. Why do they all wear Skechers?
Fucking, I can't answer that shit, man.
And then there's always that asshole at the Ren Fair. There's always that asshole at the Ren Fair that's Doctor Who, and you're like, you're not funny, dude.
Or the away team for the Star Trek Enterprise.
Well, now thanks to Loki, people are dressing as like the time variant authority.
Just so you know, Tom, the accepted terminology nowadays is person of color, Smith.
Oh, wow! Oh, I see what you did,
rude,
Cody. That was a long reach, but I figured it out.
Do you see how long I held on to that?
Look,
I see that, and maybe it's just because I've been drinking so much wine. But the point is, I finally got that, and I was like, "What? What did you say?"
So there you go. This is our master series on the Confederate douchebag rebel,
the Confederacy.
Thank you so much, Avery, for coming on the show. We're definitely going to have you back.
Thank you for having me. I will be glad to be back for sure.
Yeah.
I look forward to it, man.
All right.
If you enjoyed the episode, if you made it this far, You've obviously enjoyed.
Congratulations.
If you didn't enjoy and you're just here, what's wrong with you? Get your shit together.
Get your shit together.
Go to patreon.com/roastmortemcast. There, you'll have the opportunity,
the privilege,
and the honor to give us money.
I've yet to get any swag from you guys.
You're not getting anything.
Fuck you,
that
Mike.
Stuff looks
Pay
so
for
good,
it.
though. I like all the gear you guys.
I'm gonna get you the hat with the dick on it.
That's what I want.
Okay, good. We have a hat with a dick in it. Roastmortemcast.com, a website that Travis set up with his eyes and fingers.
A lot of 404 links.
Yes, it's a good time. There's a graph there. Shrimp, Spider-Man, all these things on the graph.
Yeah.
Root admin password to log in.
Don't say that.
For sure.
What else do we have? Social medias. We're on all of them. Avery, plug your stuff one more time before we
plug
wrap
anything.
Yeah.
Yes, so I am the creator and host of Battles of Banter podcast. You can find us on Spotify, iTunes, and any major listening platform out there. Give us a follow and a like on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. We are on all three of those social media motherfucking platforms. And we will be around and hope to hear some of you guys over there indulging in some of our fun times. So thank you guys again for having me. This is
thank you.
Fucking tastic.
Hell yeah, dog.
Thanks
So
for joining
enthusiastic.
us,
Yeah.
Dude, this is great.
All right, we'll have you back on very soon. I think we spilled the beans on what episode that will be, so look forward to that. And thank you, Shane, for listening.
Thank you, Shane.
Oh, thank you, Shane.
Thank you,
Shane.
Thank you, Shane. Thank you, Shane.
Tom's got 2 microphones.
All right, that's the end of the episode.
Bye.